Poor old Richard Sharp. He had to give up his job. Oh dear. Ain't we all sad? No? I didn't think so. How mean are you? Oh dear. Well, I hope everybody's fine. On this, well, thank Crunchy it's Friday. Well, I thought I'd have a bit of play about it before we have a look at Richard Sharp. And other stuff. I had a bit of a play with, ChatGPT. About Brexit. And the Telegraph. Yeah, I said to it, ChatGPT, write me a 350 odd word editorial, or words to that effect, for the Daily Telegraph, or the I did another one actually for the Daily Mail as well, but the Telegraph seemed to come out better. About why it is, in particular, the Brexiters who have been wrecked by Brexit. Oh, I just want the Brexit. That's what the Brexiters would say. Yeah, out there. Diddums. Well, it came back, it did, after watching it scrolling backwards and forwards. That I did. Just like that. Yeah. And there it was. A script, you could say. Oh, might give me some ideas. Might write better ones than I do, probably. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. No. I've got my wrong glasses on. Oh, dear me. Oh, they're the better ones. I can see better with these ones. Well. So it's a bitter irony that those who campaigned the hardest for their Brexit just want a Brexit. That'll be the ones that have been, well, the most badly hit by their Brexit. While they may have won the referendum, they have lost the war. Well, the promise of Brexit was a powerful one. It was supposed to bring back control to the people of Britain, to restore the country's sovereignty, and to, provide a better future for everybody, for all. But instead, what we have seen is chaos. And nobody knows what's going on. That's what I say. Well, they say there's confusion and deeply divided nation. Brexit has hit the Brexiters themselves the hardest, says ChatGPT. Many of those who campaigned for it were sold a dream. Oh, a dream that was never going to be fulfilled. They were told that leaving the EU would lead to a brighter future for themselves and their families. But instead, they have seen their businesses fall. Oh, alive. Oh, I got a window open. Oh, well, ChatGPT's been busy, you see. And I've been busy looking at it and playing with it. You okay, Dan? You're alive. Oh, God. At least you got something on. Anyway. She's giving me the look. She's giving me the look. She is out there. Well. What was now? They were told that even the EU would lead to a brighter future for themselves and their families. But instead, they have seen their businesses fail, their jobs disappear, and their communities suffer. Hard reality of Brexit has been felt acutely by those who actually voted for it. Remember, this is ChatGPT. Yeah, I wrote this. This artificial intelligence is rather clever stuff, you know. Maybe they should have had that back then. Back in 2016 when Hello Numpties put the cross in the wrong box. Well, I'll continue. ChatGPT will continue, I should say. The fishing industry, which was promised so much, has been left, decimated. Stranded with no access to European markets, farmers who were told that they would be better off outside the European Union are now facing a crisis as they struggle to find workers to pick their crops. And small businesses, which were supposed to thrive outside the European Union, are now struggling to adapt to new regulations and trade barriers. Quite impressed with this ChatGPT. The Brexiters have been, they've been let down by their very own politicians. Are these people, were they really blind? I think they probably were. Because these politicians, they're flipping liars, they're known liars. They've always been liars. Alexander Boris Johnson, the biggest liar of them all. Well, Brexiters have been let down by their own politicians, who promised them a bright future. So the uplands and all that, yeah. But delivered by only chaos and confusion. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. They have been let down by their own beliefs. They're in their own little bubble, which were built on fantasy rather than reality. Oh, okay. Sounds a bit like Rishi Sunak's a unicorn industry, what was called, and then Silicon Valley somewhere. Yeah. Strange little man. Anyway, they have been let down by their own beliefs, which were built on fantasy rather than on reality. It's a hard lesson, but one that must be learnt. The promises of politicians must be scrutinised and held to account, and we must be prepared to challenge our own beliefs and assumptions. The Brexiters may have been wrecked by Brexit, but we all learn from their mistakes and work together to build a brighter future for Britain. But unfortunately, we're stuck in a rut. And no, I'm adding this bit, obviously. And there's no, CPT, PPP that's ever going to save us or pull us out of that. No, not in the slightest. Well, hello there. Let me just bring up my chat. Come on, have a look. I know it's a bit of a random one. I thought, oh no, I'm going to go live. Hello, P. Dallas, hope you're well. In stream elements. Seems this was a bit too surprising. 5 viewers currently. Hopefully they do. If not, I'll have to end it early at some point, because I could do with some sleep, to be honest. Hello, Joe. I hope you're well. Why in Odin's name did I not get a YouTube notification? Because YouTube is a complete and utter pot, as it is. And it doesn't like me. As I can tell by my views at the moment, they've gone from bad to worse. And now they're not even showing my live streams. I don't know what I've done wrong this time. Is it because I'm getting to the end of my last strike? Maybe. Trying to get rid of me. That's what it is. I've got beer, by the way. Yeah, I've got beer for you. I know beer for absolutely ages. But I ration myself. I've been to the doctors today. Yeah, I've been to the doctors and... got the blood tests in, you see. Blood tests and urine tests and what have you. Apparently I got a little bit of blood in my urine, so I got an infection there, but probably stones in my kidneys. And then I've been to the, that blood test. Because I had my thyroid test every so often, you see. And it's got worse. They doubled my medication. No wonder I feel so down and depressed all the while. Damn. Anyway, I have a lot of bot commenting on my comments in Marx's channel. That is the third incarnation of the same bot that still blames the French. Oh, God. It's the French. Yeah, we get a lot of bot comments, but some of them are just like automated type stuff, and other ones just like, I don't think they're actors, some of them. Trolls. People, yeah, they got a load of like copy and paste, responses. People who voted for Brexit voted, hello Annette, for the never land. And I pick hello there, hello people, all okay? I hope you're all well. And that's right, I have not got notified. I know lots of people haven't got notified, but a lot of people get notified of my videos. It might be because I have actually been putting a lot of, I haven't today. I've only put, 3 or 4 up today. Plus this, which is over my 3 a day. You've laid 3 notifications a day, you see. And it includes if you do a post. So if you do a post to say that you're going live tonight, you've used 2 notifications. Just doesn't make no sense. It really doesn't. But there you go. I think when you go live and stuff like that, you should get notifications anyway, really. But yeah, say of it, that's how it is, isn't it? You know, it's not doing too well, the channel anyway. So as you probably noticed, I'm not getting the views I used to. Is it me? Probably. I won't be a bit surprised. Everybody hates me. No one. I'm so depressed. It's been in my thyroid. And there's me thinking that my voice had changed, right? And I didn't realise this. My thyroid causes it. So if you well, you probably no, I made more private now, but my old original videos, I'm quite squeaky, and I sort of like got this horse going on here. But I found out today. I looked at the symptoms and that again, and I knew all the basic ones, but didn't realise it. Hyperthyroidism can cause a hoarse voice, and I have got a hoarse voice now. And I thought it was doing this flipping channel, constantly talking to a camera, constantly. It seems I've got a Wally down here. Oh dear me, these dogs, eh? What are they like? There you go, boy. No. Yeah. No, good look at me like that. Oh dear me. Oh, in fact, they got bones today. They got bones. So anyway, Richard Sharp got rid of him eventually. Apparently, he did stuff wrong. Yeah. He wasn't open and honest as he should have been. So he's finally resigned. He's sort of dug his heels in for some time, hasn't he? Oh yeah, I was really interested in you retreating the place. Yeah, we're doing a lot of that now. I'm really pleased how it's all turning out. I made an owl box there, but I finished it. It's done. I could actually show. Where's my phone? I could have had my phone. What have I done with my phone? Ooh, where'd that go? Oh, I know it. I might have get it in a minute. But anyway, I made an owl box and finished an owl house. So I'm gonna make another couple of those, I think. If not, maybe more. How much wood I've got. And basically, it's a large birdhouse, really, with perch on it and stuff. Because we've got owls here now. I'm trying to work out what sort of bird boxes you need or bird houses you need for hoopos and stuff like that. Because they're like a long crack on a wall, basically. But we need to be able to point our walls. So I don't want to point the birds in. No. I don't want to do that. And I also don't want to take away their homes. So the other thing I need to think about is I've got to replace their homes with something else. Otherwise, they won't come back, will they? So yeah, we want them to come back every year, you see, because they migrate, the hoopos. So yeah, and then we've got the woodpeckers as well. So yeah, it's quite nice to be putting the old trees in the ground and seeing things progress. And we'll have to show you another time actually where we'll make a video in the garden, and we've got. It doesn't look like a lot, but it's about 500 trees that we've propagated in quite a small space. It's literally no bigger than the size of this room, and there's about 5. You don't realise how many trees you can get in a space like that, but it must be 500 odd trees planted there. Different varieties of willows, etc. And then we've done some sycamores, oaks, hazel, chestnut. Loads of it propagated, plus the ones that we're actually buying in as well from the nursery. We're quite lucky. We've got a really good nursery there, and it isn't horrendous.
So you have accepted the truth.
Oh my Gideon, that took me by surprise. Who was that? Hey, Chestnut. Oh, thank you very much. I'll voice back.
So you have accepted the truth.
That volume's a bit high. Is that coming through the microphone? I bet it is, isn't it? I bet that echoed. Well, thank you very much. I was much appreciated. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's getting a bit of a struggle doing this, because I'm getting to a point where I think to myself, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing anymore. Do you know what I mean? I just, it's hard. Doing this channel, like I said, 1 minute you're up there, you're getting a bit of a high, a bit of a buzz, I get excited, and you think everything's going well, and next minute it's not looking as good now, is it? So yeah, it's I'd earn more. I know I said this before, but I would earn more on the paper round. I really would if I had a paper round. But there you go, c'est la vie. That is life. The problem I suppose is when I first started this, I just did it for a bit of fun, and then it kind of started taking over my life. So it's kind of like I'm doing it all the time, so to speak. And I have to admit, I do feel kind of compelled to do it. For various reasons. One is because obviously I do know that there are people here who enjoy my videos and stuff, and I know a huge amount of people don't. Obviously, the channel would grow otherwise. But I do feel like I had put it almost feels like a responsibility. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit strange, really. It feels strange anyway. But then also the fact that somebody's got to call out these idiots. I mean, politicians, the liars and the cheats out there. Someone's got to do it. Yeah. And obviously different take, innit? Obviously my take is not isn't the same as Phil Morehouse's or Max's or anyone else's. It's just we all have different opinions, different ideas. And same with people who comment on the channel itself, And I do try and encourage the comments because it's actually quite nice. Actually, it's become a little bit of a community as well. So you feel kind of you can't. It's very difficult to pull yourself away from it. It is. You can't. It becomes almost an addiction. The channel becomes an addiction, even though it's doing really badly. It makes me depressed. You know, so, it's probably bugging out my mental health. Probably what's left of it. Oh, cheers. Yeah, welcome, buddy. Mr. Smith. And thanks, Annette. So yeah, you love hazelnut trees. We've been putting hazel in. We've put quite a few hazels in. They're quite reasonably easy to propagate as well. From basically, we just do it from seed. Basically a nut. Yeah. Or what we do is when we go around the woods, because we have some walks that we do around here, which basically walk through the woods and what have you, and you find lots of tiny baby trees, which will literally be chopped down because it's beside the paths. So we just pick them up and put them into pots or into trenches in the garden, into rows, ready to be replanted later on when the weather's better. Because obviously the problem is, if we put more on the ground in their location now, we're going to have to walk this flipping field to water them. So they don't dry out in the hot summer months. And as you know, the temperatures are increasing. They really are. Look what's happening in Spain at the moment. Hottest day of the year, wasn't it, yesterday? So 38 degrees. You know, the hottest, the hottest in recorded history, I believe, for Spain. You know, and there they are saying that the temperature isn't hot enough. It's too wet it is to grow those peppers. We've got loads of flipping peppers and veg. Admittedly, they're expensive here, but, you know, we got them. And apparently there's more to come. There's more shortages to come. Might get into that later. Vipex says, just a little something to keep the doggies going. I know, do you know what? I got them bones today. And there they were. They're nibbling on their bones. They are crunch, 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 crunch. And some people, oh, no, you should give your dogs bones and stuff. But the problem is, with Sebastian, if we don't give them bone, their teeth, they'll get cleaned. And those dental stick things are a waste of flipping time. They're too soft. So dogs, they need something hard, and that busts all the tartar build up on their teeth. And Sebastian, because he's a bit of a lazy eater, half of the food falls out of his mouth. He's always got. I have to go in there. I've got dental tools somewhere around here, somewhere. Where are they? Oh, they're in the kitchen. Got dental tools, you know, like the ones the dentists have. And I get in there and I have to pop off all the lumps of plaque off his teeth, which is not very healthy. No, not for my little Sebastian. So he's decay and stuff and. Dentist for dogs. Why am I talking about dentist for dogs for? It's a dog dentist, which is basically the vet. So yeah, it can get expensive, but our vets aren't too bad, to be fair. Hello, David Durago, 24 degrees in Spain. Oh, that was 38 yesterday, apparently, wasn't it? The hottest place in Spain, which is quite extreme. It's 24 at the moment, is it, David? Blimey. Even that's warm for this time of night. Crikey. David Durago, buenas noches. Hola. The weather is crazy here, says Joe. Not in the day, cold at night. Hot in the day and cold at night. It's a bit chilly here at night in France. It's been a lovely hot day today. We've been in the garden, been rotating. Lovely job. Then I went to the doctors and get my blood results and stuff. Yeah, it was just a bit disappointing. It's only going to happen in the thyroid, but there you go. You got to have it though. Produce all your hormones. I'm not producing enough hormones. You see, I'm a bit concerned though that I might get hairy nipples. All these flipping hormones. Oh my giddy aunt! They doubled my dose. That's like thyroxine. You see. Hello there. Hazelnut, a pancake, a cream on all Tories. Rishi Sunak, Boris Johnson. Face, welcome to Brexit. Welcome to the Brexit, sir. I got that. I probably have. Oh, I should have it here. Oh, damn. Jobs. Oh, there we go. I have.
Welcome to the Brexit, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
There you go. Yeah, so, hello, Zach Ahmed. Is Ginger's still alive? Oh, I think so. I was speaking to her the other day. She was alive then. Are you talking about Ginger's giraffe? And, well, I will just go to the beach in the morning and talk with the gods or whoever is on service. What? I'm sure those on, I don't know, GB News probably do that. The guy with the big hairdo. Yeah. The fake vicar. That one. Do you know what? I can never remember his name. But do you know what? That's something else I didn't realise. I've been having a problem with short-term memory. It's like when you might notice when I do this channel, so I can't think of the word I'm after. And apparently it's thyroid. I'll do my thyroid. It's one of the symptoms, apparently. That and my hoarse voice. It's all about what do my thyroid. I didn't know. Didn't know. I know it makes you fat and give you a puffy face. That's about it. It's all I knew. Max is live streaming. What, on a Friday? I thought he does don't he live stream on a Thursday? I thought Max does on a Thursday, or has he changed the date? I didn't realise. Ain't Thursday, is it? Ain't Thursday today, is it? No, it's Friday. I thought it was. I thought Max does a Thursday, not Friday. It's loud. What's loud? Are you talking about my is my audio too loud? Is the audio too loud? So I've got my microphone. Bum 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 bum. Hello, 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 hello. Bring it down a little bit. 1, 2, 1, 2. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. Not a lot of people know that. No. My name's Michael Caine. Right. Scroll down. Oh, yes, Marcus, says David. Oh, I'm without a t-shirt. Are you taking thyroxine and got hairy nipples? I'm a bit worried about that. Like, I shouldn't be, so I've probably already got it. No, it's too late for me, I'm sorry. Yeah, I already had to clip it myself, and that's a bit of a scary exercise sometimes. You've got to be careful, you know. Oh, blimey. Can't afford to lose any more. No, we had a couple of accidents. Hello, Duke Vengeance. Yeah, Max does streaming on Fridays. I thought he only streamed. I thought he streamed on Thursday. I've lost the plot. I haven't been on Max's stream for a long time. I recently saw a comment on hers and other videos, Zach Ahmed, so I assume she is, but did not get a notification. So many. Oh, I see. Yeah. More than likely, she might be on Max's anyway. If that's the case, I don't know if she does Max's or not. I haven't been on Max's for ages. Bum 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 bum. Does he show his face anymore, or is he still hiding behind his camera? He's not an ugly bloke. I don't understand why he does. I don't understand why he hides behind his camera. The water in the Mallorca don't taste like it ought, says Jesper. Thanks for that. Well, poor old Richard Sharp. He's lost his job.
I have to.
Oh dear. What can you say? Well, here's his little speech. If you haven't heard it already, it isn't too long, that's right.
Decided that it is right to prioritise the interest of the BBC. I have, therefore, this morning, resigned as the BBC chair to the Secretary of State and to the board.
Thank you. Oh, well, there you go, look. He's resigned. Oh, well. Never mind. We won't miss you. No, we won't. You Tory stooge. Well, now Rishi Sunak is going to have to think this through now, isn't he? He's going to have to think, well,
I feel that this matter may well be a distraction from the corporate.
Oh, there's more! Oh my God, I don't know if I want to suffer it.
Corporation's good work were I to remain in post until the end of my term. It was proposed to me that I stay on as chair until the end of June, while the process to appoint my successor is undertaken, and I will, of course, do that in the interests of the corporation's stability and continuity. Let me turn to the events that are subject of today's report.
Oh, here we go to backtrack.
When I sought in December 2020 to introduce the Cabinet Secretary to Mr. Blythe, I did so in good faith. I did so with the best of intentions, and I did so with the sole purpose of ensuring that all relevant rules were being followed.
Rubbish.
I am pleased that Mr. Heppenstall supports the fact that my involvement in these matters, as he states, was accordingly very limited. I wish, with the benefit of hindsight, this potential perceived conflict of interest was something I'd considered to mention. I would like once again to apologise for that oversight, inadvertent though it was, and for the distraction these events have caused the BBC.
Well, I think that's a load of baloney. I do. These people, if they are as clever as they try and make out that they are, to be able to warrant these jobs, well then quite frankly, why on earth don't they know what they're doing? They clearly do. They've just been they don't want people to know. So Richie Sunak's now got to make a decision on who's going to put in that place. And he's been urged by Gary Lineker and others. Don't let it be another Tory stooge. Really should be someone independent. Why does it have to be one of these rich buggers anyway? Why can't it be just somebody who's just capable of doing the job well, and there isn't huge sums of money involved, or bankrolling Alexander Boris Johnson, or organising a loan for him, or something like that. All this, money talks and all that, but it's just corruption. So yes, the BBC chairman has been forced out, he has, by Linkerists. Quite frankly, poor old Richard Sharp. Every time Richard Sharp, I think of that blooming series with Bean, What did that poor old man do anyway? Poor old Richard Sharp. He's a good man. He's an honourable man, or at least that's what he's trying to tell us, yeah. Helped a man of honour with a small loan, Alexander Boris Johnson. What's wrong with that? It's a loan. So what? That's what the Brexiters would say. And obviously Boris's sycophants. I'm sure Nadine Dorries will be there saying exactly the same. Well, Boris Johnson, he nearly died for you. He got COVID. He ended up in hospital. And some Norwegian nurse, she decided to bugger up. I mean, she left for, yeah. But anyway, she was looking after him. Yeah. Nursed him on his deathbed, almost. Deathbed. He was nearly there, apparently, or at least that's what you tried to make us think. But was it real? I think it probably was, Because Dominic Raab at the time, he shed a tear. Oh, he's gone as well. One by one, they all get buried. We need a British Bastille. That's what we need. We ain't got one in the UK. We ain't got that building anyway. No. I'm sure we could do something. This day and age, you can all be hydraulic and automised, and you use AI, makes you the right selections. Yeah. Oh, anyway, that's a nice idea. We start with the monarchy. That'll be a start. Well, he saved your life during COVID, and he saved you from Putin. What? And poor old Richard Sharp helped this hero. Well, he's now sacked for it. It's absolutely shameful. Well, that's what Sir Michael Tate says. If you do follow him on Twitter, he's funny. He's a funny geezer. Yeah, he does take the mick. Does Michael take the mick? Anyway, so Sunak is under pressure, and he has to stop chasing Tories. Yes, as we on his back, we will. We don't want another Tory in the flippin' BBC, because it's going to be there until like 2028 or 2027 or something. Something like that. That's what the contract would be. Then we'll better get rid of them. So when Labour does get in, most likely will. Hopefully. Or even more hopefully, it'll be like the Green Party. But there you go, that's my feeling. But there you go. But yeah, if and when Labour takes charge, they're not going to be able to get rid of the flippin' Tory stooge in the BBC. No. In some ways, you could argue that it's quite handy to have somebody in the BBC that you've got good communications with. Well, you should have good communications with them anyway. It's the BBC. It's going to take a long while to restore any kind of reputation. The damage has been done. It's like the Tory party, they've done a massive amount of damage to themselves. They've shot themselves, straight between the eyes, it seems. And if they want to gain any kind of reputation, even with their own Conservatives membership, it's going to take a very long time. Rishi Sunak, I can see that he's trying to, even though he's the most corrupt of the lot. He should be locked up. Ben's 9 bob note, that one. He's a right old snake. Rishi Sunak. So yes, Rishi Sunak is under pressure to actually, maybe put someone in there that isn't a Tory stooge. So, about flipping time. Yeah. Well, these Tories have been in for too long, haven't they? So Sharp, he quits his chair this morning. After investigating, it concluded that he failed to disclose key information about his relationship with the former Prime Minister Alexander Boris Johnson when applying for the job in 2021. Now, Sharp, as you heard, he says, "Oh, it wasn't me," or words to that effect. Well, he did help facilitate an £800,000 loan guarantee for Alexander Boris Johnson. What a
Kipper.
that he is. Well, so he's in the running to take over the broadcaster, he was. But now, after having his little innings, he's been got rid of. Now his resignation plunges the BBC into another period of uncertainty and mires the Tories in a further row over the behaviour of some of its most senior members, and about time too, and its appointees. Well, it follows a recent resignation of Dominic Raab as the Deputy Prime Minister. "Oh, I don't believe in human rights or social economic rights," says Dominic Raab. That's what he says. And I believe him. Well, he's gone now, isn't he? Off to the backbenchers. But he too should be sacked. He should be removed from the Tory party altogether. Quite frankly. Along with Nadeem Zahari, the party... Well, he was the party chair. After his old tax affairs. And keeping his horses warm. With taxpayers' money. Lovely. Great guy, isn't he? That's what I say. But it also gives old Sunak an opportunity to put in another sycophant, somebody who supports him. Maybe he'll put in Dominic Raab. He'll bully his way to the top, I'm sure. Karate Kid, I'll do a kata. Yeah. So, it's a 4-year term as well, in the BBC. Oh. Well, Lucy Powell, the Shadow Culture Secretary, oh dear. Well, she said, well, it could be worse actually, it could be Nadine Dorries. Oh, the Prime Minister doesn't lie. Or the Prime Minister tells the truth. That's it, told the truth. Well, the Shadow Culture Secretary said that Sharp had caused untold damage to the reputation of the BBC and seriously undermined its independence. I just got that wrong. And Lucy Powell's Shadow, isn't she? Shadow Culture Secretary. So, yeah, so she's not a Boris sycophant. No. It's not a very good comparison, that one, was it, really? No. Oh, well, so the be. Well, she called on Sunak to run a truly independent and robust... Well, it's got to be robust, isn't it? Recruitment process for Sharp's replacement. Ain't going to happen. Though, it's just going to be a Sunak sycophant this time. Someone that will support Sunak no matter what. Keep it stum. Well, restore this team of the BBC. Somehow. Well, they have to get someone good in there, aren't they? Someone who's, quite frankly, independent, if that was the case. And they should be completely independent from the flipping Tory party anyway. Maybe they should be Greens or something, because Greens are not going to get in, are they? I don't know. I wonder now if... hang on. I wonder if the BBC will broadcast David Attenborough's cancelled show now. I wonder. Maybe. Makes you wonder, doesn't it, what's going on in that place? What's going on in their heads sometimes. It's like a big game to them. It's like moving pieces across the chessboard. It's not about the good of the people. No, they're the pawns. Sacrifice them. Well, Ed Vaizey, the Conservative pair and former Culture Minister, said that the Prime Minister should make sure that the next appointments process was beyond approach. And Peter Riddle, who was the Public Appointments Commissioner when Sharp was given the job, said that Johnson had been, conflicted during the appointments process. He called on Downing Street not to leak the name of the chosen successor over the coming months in the effort to put off other candidates. Well, what about Lebedev? Eugenie Lebedev, who's now a lord. He doesn't turn up anyway, but anyway, he's now a lord. The voice was, no, he shouldn't be a lord, but Boris got his way, like a spoilt brat that he is. Well, the report by the barrister Adam Heppenstall found that Sharp had created a potential perceived conflict of interest by failing to tell an interview panel in late 2020. that he had discussed the BBC job with Johnson prior to sending in his application, and Johnson went on, well, to appoint Richard Sharp to that job. Months after friendly media outlets had been, well, briefed that the former Goldman Sachs banker was Downing Street's choice for that role. Well, he wasn't there for long, was he? No. Anyone got to check the chat. I suppose, yeah, got to check the chat occasionally, haven't we? Oh. Let's pop that chat out. Not that. The chat I'm talking about the chat. And not ChatGPT either. Well. Scroll up a little bit. Organ donors. What organ donors? Just ask his wife. What are you talking about, Rishi Sunak's wife? Did he scroll up a little bit? Okay. A Tory zombie. Ooh. The south of Portugal nearly died from drinking water off the south of Portugal. Oh, disgusting. Well, you don't want to be drinking water flipping well. Into East Sakofi's constituency, at least you don't go going for a swim. No, in the River Deben. If you saw my video, that's disgusting. 700 times over the minimum, the acceptable limits for E. coli in the rivers of Devon. The Devon River. Yeah. I wouldn't even eat fish. That you can't. Well, river fish will probably taste a bit muddy. Unless you get a predator, like you can eat perch or pike, you can eat them if you really want to, or carp. But not bottom feeders. Don't try and eat a bream, for instance. Ugh. Ooh, horrid. Yeah, sea breams are right though, obviously, because in the sea. Oh, no, it's for my fair lady. What? Sunak will just with his wife. Sunak will just his wife, or he can ask his father-in-law to ask Putin. Probably. He's an honourable man. He's a Tory donor. There's always a quid pro quo with these appointments. Always, yes. Nadine, isn't she the one with the strange channel for ideas? I mean, the Tories are mad. Yes, she's on Talk TV. She has her own show on Talk TV. There again, so does Jacob Rees-Mogg. Oh my goody aunt. Marina Burgess was holding him to account. I must admit, that was quite impressive. Well, some people criticise her being a champagne socialist, they do. Well, so what? I don't care, as long as what comes out of her mouth is decent, I don't care. And she's eye candy as well, so I don't mind that either. Got a little baby now. Yeah, Marina Burgess. So let's scroll down. Don't forget Monday, shops are closed. I know it's bank holiday weekend, isn't it? Not here in France, man, though. Okay, Charles Party. What a waste. Oh my giddy aunt. Oh, don't. I've done a series of t-shirts with, well, get rid of the monarchy and all that. Scrap the monarchy. Not my king. British Bastille. Got a guillotine on that one. What a waste of money they are. Oh my god. You know what? I didn't have a problem with them before. But what's been going on with, I think it really, my opinions on them really started really going down after Diana, really. That's what they're really like. And then you get all the Tory press, the right-wing press, just pushing for support of the Tories and the royal family. Apart from, obviously, Harry and Meghan. How dare they escape the paparazzi? And obviously, the Sun and the Daily Mail. And what was News of the World? Oh, all part of, that's News Corp, isn't it? News Corp. And which is Keith Rupert Murdoch's newspaper group. Well, Hugh Grant, he came forward as well. He said, they broke into my house, they did. And they bugged me, they said. They bugged me. They pestered him, they said. They put a bug in his house. Yeah, bug. Yeah. They put a bug in Hugh Grant's house. Yeah. So now he's a witness to Harry. For Harry. Cheers. First beer in probably about 6 weeks. Probably going to go right to my head, Portugal also seen why they are south of Portugal. Why police not want people sleep on the beach is cool, so they can be discharge sewage at the night time. Oh, what? Very good, Mellow. Talking about sewage, as I mentioned earlier, about Theresa Coffey's constituency. There's poop everywhere, especially in the River Devon. Well. Oh dear. Now, talking about sleeping on beaches and stuff. I've done that, you see. Yeah. When I was. My son. I might have mentioned a story before. But the year before I moved here to France, my son, Darren, he lives in France now, actually. He cycled all the way from East Anglia up into. He went over to Hook Holland and then travelled south. I met up with him in Limoges. By aeroplane. We hadn't moved there at this point. And I met up with Darren in a place called Bellac. There's a aide de camp there in Bellac town. And it's a lovely aide de camp. And we met up, we camped there for the night, and then we cycled, push bike, basically south. We went to Limoges first, and just southeast, until we got to, we went to Perpignan, which is a national park, what have you. Thought it was a really good idea to go around the mountain because it looked easier, but it wasn't. It took us. Go over the mountain, sorry, and it took us all day just to do a very short distance. God, that was hard going. I mean, it was zigzagging up on the push bike because it was so steep. God, I was knackered. And I wasn't light. I'm similar weight to I am now. I look, I had a light on as well. I looked like I looked like a penguin. Terrible. I remember when we I went to Barcelona. But before I got to Barcelona, I went over the period and into Barcelona. I stopped at a junction, and because I had SPDs, I was like clips on your pedals, to keep your feet on your pedals and whatever, because you can pull as well as push. And I could undo my feet off the pedals to put my foot down at the traffic lights. So I just literally feel like I'm a plop. With all my panniers on the side and stuff like that. But yeah, that was interesting trip. Anyway, we went to Barcelona, and we slept on the beach in Barcelona. We were doing a lot of rough, free camping and what have you on the way down. And we're sleeping on this beach, and there's all little boats, with covers on, have little fish boats on this beach. And I keep rustling, and not just rustling, just like moving about and stuff. What's going on over there? So we threw sand at it. And all of a sudden, this poor old guy got out with a nasty limp. I mean, he's really nasty limp. And he just disappeared for a bit, and he came back, and we saw him again in the morning. So it's just sad. And obviously he's homeless, poor bugger. So we didn't know what's going on. We thought maybe an animal or something, you see. Bit worried, a bit disconcerted about it. But we got mugged in Barcelona. Apparently that's what happens to go to Barcelona, you get mugged. Yeah. It's a friendly mugging, but it's a mugging nevertheless. But I didn't have no money on me, so they didn't get nothing off me. But my son Darren, he actually got just been to the cash point. And what we didn't realise is they squirt you with water, the kids do. You then become marked that you've been to the cash point. Yeah. And what happened is that we'd just been to the Sagrada Familia anyway, actually, and and a guy came up to us, asked us for directions to the Sagrada Familia, Gaudi's church thing, cathedral. And anyway, this guy's asked the directions to it. Next thing we knew, a car stopped really quickly beside us. Two guys got out, and they said, they introduced themselves as being, police officers and whatever, and they want to check our wallets and all that sort of stuff. It's starting a bit fishy, a bit strange. Because the momentum was so quick, you didn't have time to engage or actually work. Oh my God, what's going on? And they're sniffing the wallets and stuff like that. What we didn't realise is when we left, and they walked with us for a bit, sort of ushering us along, what have you. Got this guy, put him in the car, but he's obviously part of this gang. And Darren checked his wallet, and he had 80 quid gone missing, €80 had gone missing out of his wallet. They didn't take any of mine, because the whole point is that you don't take all of it, otherwise it's obvious, and so they didn't take anything of me, so I was all right. But it's all sleight of hand kind of thing. And it's all about creating that pressure and that kind of... But it was within seconds after, hang on, this I'm not quite right here. It's wearing white trainers and they're a bit scruffy and stuff. It was just the whole momentum of it. It was just, yeah. And you feel really stupid and like idiots afterwards. You do. So, yeah, that's costly for Darren. But there you go. That was a few years ago. That was in 2008 or 9. 2009. Just say tied to any flat earther. No! Don't tell them that. No. You fall off the edge. Oh, these flat earthers are strange people. I know one. I didn't think they existed, but I actually this was last summer or summer before. Last summer, I think it was. And it's a friend of a friend, and he's trying to convince us that, you know, we were talking rubbish that the world's round because we were taking mick at them, you see. His arguments I can't remember what his arguments were now, but they were absolutely ridiculous. They really were. So, tourism is money, and a clean environment is tourism. Well, you can't have tourism without a clean environment. You're not going to go to a flipping DOS house, are you? You know, it's going to be somewhere where you're going to feel not just welcome at, but also comfortable, and you feel that your skin's going to be crawling. So you're not going to be going somewhere you know you're going to be swimming in poop. If you've got E. coli levels at 700 times the actual allowed limit for bathing, well, you're not going to stay there, are you? You're going to get out rather sharpish when you find out. Yeah, not my king. I've done that one. I might be able to show you, actually. I'll bring them up in a minute. Yeah, and not my king and various others we've been doing. We only just uploaded them, actually. I've got to find them first. I don't know why it always shows stickers and not t-shirts. It's a bit odd. You find the design first. Oh, there you go. Abolish the monarchy. I drew a little cat. I drew a crown. Bit strange, eh? Never drawn a crown before. Gotta find it on a t-shirt. Yeah. I think I can show you if I just do that. There we go. There you are. Abolish the monarchy. Oh, we get it in black as well. Quite good in black. Yeah, so I sketched these. These are my own little drawings. And various others I've been doing. Anyway, let's get rid of that for a moment. I've done the Bastille one. They're not going anywhere. I know that. We're not going to be abolishing the monarchy anytime soon. Ain't going to happen. You know, as much as we'd like it, well, I don't know about you, obviously, but as much as I would like them to be abolished and got rid of, so money can be spent on something worth having. They're a pain in the butt. Similar designs. There's no similar designs to mine. Now scroll down, scroll up. Through Allshorts shop. Bum. Why are those ones first? All mediums clothing. Marry me? What? No. Abolish the monarchy. Strong and... Where are the rest of my monarchy ones? I've got that one. I don't think my dear missus have put them all on yet. So I'll show you. I haven't got all. They haven't been all uploaded. The monarchy ones haven't all been uploaded. They're not just politics on this particular site. It's all sorts of silly stuff as well. Marvelous now, and stronger than you think. The greatest problem with politics is the politicians. You can't see it. There you go. Let's move it over. Oh. Yeah, whenever I feel in mind, have a scribble. I'll draw something else. A bit odd, I know. It's a bit random, isn't it? It's a bit random. Trickle down economics. Oh my giddy aunt, look at that. National debt. And my favourite one. I put the cross in the right box. I better get back to what I was supposed to be doing, don't I? Oh, we've got 16 people there. Woohoo. Who's go vegan? Not me. This one seems very appropriate at the moment. This one I've done here. Yeah. No tomatoes. Our government told Toms to stop in the first safe country they come to, even though we're not in the Dublin Accord. So, you know, it doesn't make any difference anyway because, you know, it doesn't work that way. No, they got rid of that with leaving the European Union, didn't they? So I see there's a lot more. Oh, Down with the Crown. How about that one? Down with the Crown. That's a different one, isn't it? You know, once I'm done with scribbles, you say, I can put whatever words I like with it. So, Down with the Crown. What else we got there? Oh my god. No, not I love my waves. Too soppy. Too soppy. Oh, anyway, totally irrelevant stuff. Okay, get rid of that. Oh, I'm back. Right, chat. Holy Grail. Not my king. Did they get Darwin Award? Oh. Marcus, people cannot sleep in the beach and do bonfires here because number one, there's polluting, and number two, the tides are crazy and people have been died. Oh my god, for not being careful. You want to get washed away? Crikey, yeah, that'd be a bit scary. I suppose Barcelona's going on to the Med, isn't it? So, where's you going on to the North Sea? Not North Sea, going to there. I watch Secular Talk more now. now for some reason, says Smith. I am king. And how you get that? Oh, how you get that? Okay. Marcus, whenever I can, I will video or photo something of the beaches, here, and the streets, and show you how it is here now. People need jobs and money, and tourism is a lifeline to many. I've been there. Yeah, how is your tourism doing at the moment, Joe? In Portugal, Jacob Rees-Mogg likes, to tell everybody about your e-gates and that, even though it doesn't really affect the ferries. No, it doesn't work like that. Because he lies. And Monty Python got it right with the Holy Grail. Oh, apart from he's a Brexiter. I watched Secular Talk. I am king. And how did I get that? So, Vipix says, yeah, he is good, as well as check out Ring of Fire and Brian Taylor Cohen. Brian Taylor Cohen. Monty Python. Right. Scroll up. The fines here are sharp enough. Well, there's a huge amount of fines being added to Spain, in various areas in Spain. Not everywhere, not across the whole country. And one is if you can't be in a bikini if you're walking on the promenade. You get on the beach, you're okay. But if you get on the promenade, you got to get covered up. Cover your bits up. Yeah. No thongs or mankinis for you. No. Not on the promenade. No. Not in Spain. Fines are horrendous as well. It's like €400 or €500 for that. And if you poop in the sea, oh my god, you're done for. Don't know how they can find out though, unless it's a floater. Wow. €600 fine. For pooping in the sea. The fish are doing it all the time. Have you seen the size of a whale poo? I haven't actually seen it physically, no, but they're big. Yeah. Massive poos, they do. Lovely. Just imagine it. Gurgling on that. That nice. No. Hello, Zach. You put Boris's head onto Lisa Coffey. OnlyFans picture. You could do. Well, I have put Teresa Coffey's head on various things in the past. Because I don't like her. If I liked her, I wouldn't do it. But I don't like her because I think she's a horrible piece of work and she deserves it. Yeah. What else have I done? Anne Widdecombe. Oh, I did that one. And the cucumber. What else did I do? Yeah, I had to make more private a lot of these videos because it's seen as sexual content. I don't know how on earth it's sexual content. Because every time I look at it, I go limp. I go flaccid. No? Is that too much? Probably. Cider. I'm going to be brewing some more beer. I will be very soon. I've got my thingy. I've got my stuff all sorted out. I've got my bottles ready. And so I'm going to do a keg of beer for the summer. And that'll probably last me all summer because I'm not drinking very much at the moment. I'm going to have to be careful anyway. A cloud of poo. Lovely. Not going to escape that in a hurry. No, you inhale it. That will go in the pores of your skin. And that'll be peel. Just like those little fishies. Yeah, they go up but they can't get out again. They're surgically removed. Put Mel Brooks on a t-shirt, smiling and saying, "It's good to be the king." The only problem is that when you put faces on t-shirts, Mel Brooks would be okay. Especially if you could do it as a pop art or something, couldn't you? But like if you put the king on there or Boris Johnson, no one wants pictures of Boris Johnson. No matter what it says, they just don't want the picture of him. Because people have to search, have to sort of like in their heads, they've got to calculate and work out what it's about. Ooh, Boris Johnson, you like Boris Johnson? Ooh. $1,800 surplus last month. Quarter. Hang on, where are we? 1,800 surplus last month. Oh my God, Brian. Oh, too far up again. Just as I don't understand why there would be condoms or hygiene articles in sewage. Well, it's not yeah. It's like sanitary products. Something I can't remember what it was now. Actually, it's one of my regulars. Actually, I think that was Gobate or Gonate or something. Anyway, one of my regular commenters and that. And he says we're not supposed to put sanitary towels in down the toilet. You're supposed to put them in a separate bin. Well, of course, we know that. But I'm sorry, but women do. They still put it in the toilet, try and flush it away. That and rats on ropes and stuff. Not everyone does that, obviously, but a lot do. And I might have told the story before because when I was working in the old building game, I used to do a lot of maintenance work for Abbott's estate agents, and I used to get plumbing jobs, a lot of plumbing jobs for our firm. And it usually is like emergency repairs, whether it be a siphon's gone in a toilet cistern, or it's leaking or something like that, or it just won't stop running because of the float valve. And we fix those sort of things, but also macerators, Saniflows. Oh my God, the amount of times I've been called out to strip down a Saniflow with my gauntlet gloves on. To sort it out. And guess what? Nearly 9 times out of 10, what the problem is? Rats on a rope. Tampax. Yeah. Little fluffy things with a string, all wrapped around the macerator blades and just jams it right up. So there I am with a flippin' blade trying to cut off all the strings that are wrapped around the flippin' motor and the shaft and the macerator and and I put them all in a Ziploc bag and I leave them on wherever I can leave them, with a note: don't put these down the toilet. Because a lot of these apartments and what have you, they could be like the old converted spaces. So it'd be, I don't know, like maybe a cellar's been converted into a 1-bedroom flat or something, or something like that. And there'll be a bath or shower or something downstairs below water level. So you need a macerator that is used basically really just to pump the water or the poop and stuff up and out. So it's got its own inbuilt pump, but also it chops everything up so it gets through a smaller pipe. Lovely. Oh, nice conversation. Well, and if you put naughty stuff down there other than toilet paper, it jams them up. Yeah. Or whenever Teresa Kofi uses the toilet, that's usually that's a problem too. I don't understand why. But yeah, all people interested in is getting rid of them, getting them shot once you flush that toilet. Yeah. And the water takes it all out of the way. It's all gone. Well then, just forgotten about it, isn't it? It's the end of it. Imagine the size of a whale's shalong. I know. Saucy. What are you going to do with that thing? One if I just throw it over their shoulder. We've got a bull in the field at the moment, and his is always hanging out at the minute because he's constantly at it. Dirty old bugger. So I want my dogs, along there. I have to cover their eyes. I do. Poor little blighters. Besides the size of the pipes and the stuff that's reduced to avoid people doing it. Imagine this. I said that again. Where do we get that from in the UK? Apart from people like Marcus Phil, Van Man Channel, etc., the media in the UK is the problem. Thanks for that, Matt Smith. Yeah, there is a problem, isn't it? But you're not going to change it because there's too much longer, too much money involved, and it's the same as anything. Negative news sells. Clickbait sells. And I hate clickbait. I'm no good at clickbait anyway, but I try to keep away from clickbait. The whole thing about clickbait is if you click on it and you think, hang on, nothing in that title was actually in that video. Well, that's clickbait, isn't it? You put something shocking like, the world has ended and it's about fluffy bunnies or something. That's clickbait. Or something anyway. But then again, you probably click on fluffy bunnies. I don't know. But it kind of loses it. Or when you over exaggerate what the reaction you should expect from it. It's a bit like Batman, biff, pow, what? The original, the old Batman with his tight lycra, blue shorts, lovely, and grey trousers, grey shorts, like what's that all about? Bizarre. Anyway, they were the times and they were the days. Although I did enjoy Batman growing up. How about you? So yeah, the thing is though is negative news sells, shock sells. They just want you to click on it. And the problem is, most people, they don't even see or read the article and get the gist of it, or they don't understand it. And they just read that title, that clickbaity title. And that's enough for them. They've been, hello, Marx's biggest fan. I hope you're well. Cheers, there, buddy. Hope you're well. Gave you a wee tip on the GoFundMe. Oh, cheers, buddy. Nice one. Oh, thank you. I'll have a look. Yeah, oh, cheers, buddy. Yeah,
So, you have accepted the truth.
We've started that. I've done a GoFundMe for the channel as well. I didn't think it was kind of appropriate for it, but I was told it is. So I started a GoFundMe for support of the channel because I just cannot get enough how to put it, enough interest for the videos themselves. I don't understand why. It's obviously something I'm doing wrong, but hey, if I try something new, I don't know. See, hopefully I can make it work. Dee. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. Nice one. Yeah. So clickbait. Yeah, clickbait sells, doesn't it? Unfortunately, and people don't actually read the whole article and even understand the article, and that clickbait title is enough for them to plant a seed in their mind. Just like that Breaking Point poster. Nigel Farage's Breaking Point poster. Which was a lie, and it was also photoshopped as well. You know. All brown faces again. Why do we care so much? I don't, but why do we care so much whether or not people have got brown faces? I don't actually... I just wish people would just judge people on who they are, not necessarily what they are. It makes no sense to me. Oh, we got Danny Blase here. Oh, sorry, Truth to Power. I haven't watched Truth to Power's videos for ages. His production quality is pretty good, if I remember rightly. Navarro Media, that with Ash and all. Ash, I love Ash. I think she's brilliant. And I can't remember the guy's name now, but Ash. I do like Ash. On Navarro Media, but that's no one. They got really good production. And Truth to Power, I think his production is pretty good. And others like Marcus, Data Blase. I'm not gonna say my production quality is that good. The problem is I make two. The thing is, you see, if I made fewer videos, I suppose I could spend more time on the editing and stuff like that. But the problem is, it's still no guarantee you're going to get many views. It's like my video I put on this morning, took me ages to edit that, and I thought it was going to do quite well, and it didn't. Didn't really hit the mark. So yeah. So it's just one of the things, isn't it? You never know. So I'll put another video up, and it took me no time. I just haphazard, a bit like that video I did in the supermarket. It did sort of okay-ish. You know, and it's just haphazard. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he is good. He's actually not a bad bloke either, is he? Yeah, and he's I quite like him. But I actually watch this. The thing is, there's so many channels you can't keep up with them all, can you? And the ones I do want to support at the moment is mainly Snowflake Show really, because they only just started out, and look, Reagan, they only just started out, and it takes people a lot of guts to start doing that, you know. And like, for instance, I never used to do live. Anyone knows this channel from before? I never used to do any live whatsoever. And it wasn't until I started messing about with Graham Hughes, and I went to his island and what have you, started a bit of live on his island. I've never done live before. I was just too nervous, to be honest. And it doesn't worry me so much now. Although I do have to have somewhere near prepared in my mind what I'm actually going to be doing. You know what I mean? So it's and I try and organise it on here, but it never works out. It never does. I end up just blabbering like I'm doing at the moment, I suppose. But there you go. Yeah, Truth to Power's alright. Truth to Power and Michael Lambert. Michael Lambert. I love Michael Lambert. He's a lovely, lovely, lovely man. He really is. He's I spoke to him a few times, and he's I like Michael Lambert. He seems pretty genuine. Some of them don't. Some people on there are. Some people actually really like it, actually, but they're not genuine. Even though I like them. You know what I mean? It's just you can't tarnish everybody, can you? You know what I mean? You know, and it's like even Phil Morehouse is. Although I'm no fan of Phil Morehouse, I do respect him. I do respect the fact he's good at what he does. Apart from his flipping video quality, that really bugs me. I think mine's bad enough, and this is like, my God, like I say, it's like The Walking Dead. Fortunately, but he's a clever bloke. You know, he's good at what he does. But I don't necessarily agree with everything. I don't necessarily agree with everything he does. But you know that already. I've said that so many times now. I don't. He's a bit too lefty. Too left for me. I don't mind. Actually, to be fair, I don't mind if people are really left wing, providing they allow other people to have an opinion. If you know what I mean. As long as not arrogant with it, I think that's fine. It's the same with people that, who are greenies and that, you know. I'm a bit of a greenie anyway. I love nature and stuff like that. You'll see my little birdie. I couldn't believe that. There's a little birdie. It just, I had a hand out like that, and it just landed on my hand. It was in the house for some reason, and it sat on my light up here. And it was floating about on top, just sitting there, just tweeting at me above my light. I've got a light, you know, this light, it's like that light behind there. Anyway, it was up, they were up there tweeting at me. It was, and I might actually upload that later. And it was actually lovely to see. It really was. And anything green, like say green, like nature, what have you. Anything natural. Maybe not naturism so much. You know, cold bits. Yeah, when you get older and that, you don't really want to go there because it's too embarrassing. Yeah. Anyway, that's another story. So well, yeah, I just wish not everybody. A lot of people got an opinion, but they don't allow other people to have theirs, and I think that's a problem. That is a problem, and it's the same in politics, isn't it? You know, it's views are being pushed upon you. So, like for instance, I've got no problem, you know, with you know, the gender issue and stuff like that, and I kind of understand both sides of the story. I think it's a very, very difficult and diverse subject. But it's something that's I ain't got a problem with. I don't bother me. It's just, yeah, it's not hurting anybody. Why does it matter? Even the toilet issue. Why is that a problem, really? Oh well. I don't get it. Especially the women's toilets. They've got cubicles. Different us blokes, you know. I might be a bloke going next to me. He might fancy me and look over that urinal. You don't know, do you? No. Should I be more worried about that? Just live and let live, for God's sake, you know? I say God's sake. I'm not a religious man at all. Marcus Pixels fan. Not too bad. Could be better, but hope it doesn't get worse. Oh, my God, what? Hope you're well, friend. Hello. Oh, maybe do a bit more on location content. Makes a bit more appealing. Yeah, when I get the camber sorted out, when I go forward to that is, I need a CT, which is basically an MOT. And although it's got nothing really wrong with it, it failed the last one for a silly reason, and I had to do that. But anyway, it's done. I just got to get it CT, but I just need the money to be able to do it. So we will be taking that out and doing videos around where we talk to various places around here. Some lovely places. It really is. And we can talk about politics and stuff like that as well, you know, at the same time. While we're doing other stuff, so it can be a bit of everything. The thing is, when you make a lot of videos, you know, if you do it on a daily basis, you can't actually do location. I mean, I've got to go out every single day, which costs fuel, for one thing, and I don't have the money to constantly putting diesel in the car because I live in the middle of nowhere. So wherever I go costs money. I'm getting a push bike. I'll be all hot and sweaty and sticky and smelly, and then do a video. Lovely. It's not a good look, no. Hello, Wally. I know. I wonder if I've got enough light in there to see a Wally. A bit more light that day. Let's bring it round. Are you there, boy? Look at you. Look at the mess on my desk. Look at that. Flipping mess. Got plenty of pencils on. Look at that. Lots of pencils. Wally. Yeah, there you go. What do you reckon? Hey? Would you like a treat, Wally? They had bones today. And you guys cost me a fortune. Don't you? Ow, that's my finger! Oh. Little bugger, that's what he is. Yeah, film ground and local social thing together, yeah. Environmental. I have got another channel, and it hasn't. Well, I haven't really done much with it, to be honest. I've got a few videos on there. I've actually uploaded a couple today, but I haven't made them live yet. And which is called Earth Trifle. And the whole idea was I was going to be load of shorts and stuff like that, and start doing environmental stuff. But this channel just took over, and I didn't upload any more videos. I've got a few bits pieces on there, but I need to sort of think of what sort of direction I'm going to take it. I'd like to do more of that, a bit, to be honest with you, because it's that's something I'm doing all the time anyway, sort of earthy type stuff. And whether it be propagation of various plants, when I go to garden centres and places, I take cuttings of the plants. So I get those different varieties. So what time I left, you see, all the plants they had a bad hair day. And just say, my dog wants to have a wee. Do you want a wee, Wally? I think he does. Oh, that works. Go on then. Sorry about that. There you go. Bit of a chat, that's all at the moment. There's only 12 people watching, so there you go. That's probably why. It's all chatting. Oh, I don't know. Phil and Graham are doing the Labour social thing. I haven't watched one yet. I subbed in seconds using existing viewers to promote something they did not agree with. Okay. Well done. You provoking Phil Morehouse again? Graham's all right. I wouldn't want to spend 6 months on an island with him though. Not 6 months, 6 to 7 weeks on an island with him. No, I wouldn't want to do that. Oh, hang on, I already have. But yeah, he's all right. He's all right. Although I wouldn't call him an environmentalist. No. Oh, now he wants to come in. Dogs. Oh, damn it. Go on. You little pest. There you are, you little pest. He's a little pest, he is. That he is. Oh, I don't know. No, I don't think the idea of I'm putting all your rubbish in black plastic bags and taking them to Boca's Town and chuck them on a big pile of rubbish. It doesn't sound very environmental to me. No. Don't buy the rubbish in the first place, and then you wouldn't have to get rid of it. That seems like a good idea to me. But there you go. Right, do stuff like just have a think. Oh, what? Oh. So Smith's got to do. I've got to do something because somehow we need to revive this channel somehow. Because I do have subscriber base. I know it doesn't necessarily. Is there a new COVID variant? Yeah, apparently there is. There's. I know the subscriber count isn't that important, but it is actually. It's a signal. It's a signal of how if people are enjoying your videos. So if people subscribe, it gives you no idea whether or not they found it of interest or they like my madness or whatever. I don't know, but my subscriber count is literally just plummeted. I mean, when I first started this channel, within the first 4 to 6 months, I was doing about 900 to 1,000 subscribers a month, which was pretty good for a small channel. I was doing quite well. And then last year, started taking a hit and what have you, and the year before actually started taking a bit of a hit. And now it's like I'm getting I looked at the stats, so I've got 78 subscribers in 28 days. That's terrible. It's really terrible. So but there you go. So these things are sent to try you, aren't they? Mustn't let it get me down. Joe Romero says, I do not question Phil's videos, but he does like not to be questioned or called out. Hence, he lives in an echo chamber. I think that's a problem, personally. I think even, I feel that I'm always learning. And since I started this channel, I wasn't actually really into politics at all. I've told you this before. I know some of you. But I have to admit, it's been a learning curve. And also, I've been learning from the comments. That's one of the reasons I read the comments. It's good to get like a balanced view, even when you get like the right-wing comments, they think, oh my god, that's just ridiculous. So then obviously you don't take any of that and you leave some kind of sarky comment or something like that in return. Try and provoke them. And But you do need a balanced view, don't you? You know, because everybody's needs and likes and dislikes are all different. You know, we're all different after all, aren't we? You know, some people on the right, you get some people on the left, you get some people down the middle, you know, and some people verging one way or the other, or you get swing voters and what have you. We've all got different points of views and different needs in life and things that they think are right and things that are wrong. Obviously, if someone's just been plain flip and nasty, that's just wrong altogether. Yeah, there isn't no. There's no way bringing them people around, to be fair. You can try. It's like at the moment, like what's going to be going on, this the youth. There's a lot of criticism going on regarding juvenile prisons, what yeah, detention centres for juveniles, and prisons in general. My daughter's just doing her training to be a prison warden. She's a nutter. Yeah, you've met her before, Karina. She's been on this channel before, and she's doing training to be a prison warden. She's just about nearly finished it, and she's a carer at the moment. So she's working for a charity at the moment. But it's about, she get paid about another 10 grand more than what she was before. So it's a big difference for her, especially that she's a single bum. And I just don't get this mentality, especially on the right. You get those like GB News types, you get the Lee Anderson types. That the prison is just purely a purpose. A reason behind the prison is just literally to punish people. No, you just at some point in the future, unless obviously you got triple life sentences or something stupid like that, and at some time in the future, these people are going to end up being chucked back into society. They need a route. They need a direction. They almost need reprogramming. And I was having a discussion actually about with my son, because his mother-in-law is actually a prison warden as well, and Maz. And we're having this discussion. I see a bit of a problem in the prisons in that certain people just don't put together. You just don't. You don't put serious crimes with white collar, violent crimes with white collar type crimes. You just don't do it. You just keep them separate. Just don't bring them together. You just harden people. Whether it be through bullying or fighting or whatever, you can just imagine the pressure and humiliation that goes on in those places. And obviously, if they're sex offenders, just check in the middle of it, and be done with it. But they can be like fodder. But it's about rehabilitation. We've got to rehabilitate people. Because if they've got 5 years, 10 years, or something like that, or even shorter or a little bit longer, maybe. Well, those people are going to end up back in society anyway, and they need to contribute to society. Some people are there; they just took a wrong turn, Some of the crimes, it'll be funny. Apparently, you get 3 years these days for hanging yourself on a bridge in a protest. 3 years! 3 years! Just tying yourself to a flipping bridge. Okay, they were hanging there up there. They were, I have to admit, they look pretty scary. For days, or a couple of days or something, wasn't it? Or whatever it was. A long while, whatever it was. Seems like a long while to me, been stuck up there. All the wind and that blowing past you. It ain't going to be calm, is it, up there? Scary. You get some mad idiot. Like some idiot with a crane trying to get them down. Well, that was on was it LBC? That was Nick Ferrari's show. Someone called in to get a crane. No, electrify the bridge or something. That's what, electrify the bridge. They'll fall off. Nick Ferrari wasn't having any of that. I have to give him his dues there. At least he didn't go along with that one, but that was quite a funny call. I actually put that clip on this channel, actually. Oh, Esther Witt, hello there. Hope you're well. Just saw you live, fighting a bug. Oh, crikey, hope you... Oh, do you need a massage? A massage. Ask the mister. Oh, Phil is boring, says Smith. Yeah, but he does know what... I don't agree with him, but he knows... If you agree with his like somebody said, he's narrow-minded view and all that, but he's not stupid, is he? He knows what he's doing. He knows what to do to earn the money. Because I'm not. I obviously don't. Now I've got cramp. The problem with Phil, I don't want to do Phil slack about. I don't want to constantly bash Phil, but I just really just want to be just started. The problem with Phil is that he thinks that he's the best connected pundit out there. and takes no criticism at all, even if you can prove him to be wrong. I see, yeah. That is narcissism. That is pretty much the meaning of narcissism. I do feel like I'm always bashing Phil, but I do respect the guy. I do appreciate that he's good at what he does. It's just not my cup of tea. You know, we're all different after all, aren't we? You know. What are you using this to it? Knives and guns? Oh, what, to fight that bug? Is it a big bug? Does it have wings? Oh my god, talking about bugs, all the bugs are out at the moment. I've got loads of flies all of a sudden. All of a sudden, it was fine yesterday. And today the sun comes out. And all the bugs have as well. Little buggers. I've got cows in the field, do you see? So I need to eat the cows. I don't care if I don't care if a comment is deleted due to me being hyperactive or not correct or proper. But to dump a comment that helps you correct your dogmatic views is a more... Yeah, well, Joe, you know I don't delete any of your comments whatsoever. I know you're talking about somebody else. I know you're talking about Phil, but I haven't deleted any of your comments. I do appreciate your comments. In fact, they're very informative, and actually do get a lot of. Like I was saying earlier, you know, I used to say it in my videos. You know, I appreciate the comments. Not, you know, to comment down below because I learn from the comments. You know, sort of. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I do, and like we say, we all learning all the time. You know, we all, you know, if something would have woodworking, I could probably help you out. Politics, forget it. I just remember the madness that's going on at the moment. There's plenty of that. Isn't it right, Wally? He's looking at me again. He's not a bugger, he is. I do love him, though. I really do. He's such a little character. Mm-hmm. He had no fit the other day. That was scary. That was worse than his usual ones as well. A bit worrying. He was really stunned afterwards. He's like constantly, like a nervous problem. He's like shakes afterwards. He's like an epileptic fit, don't you? Mm-hmm. It usually comes in twos as well, but he hasn't had the second one yet. Matt was the biggest fan. Is this not the same as Max's live stream? What? Is this not the same as Max's live stream? I don't understand. Oh, hang on. I don't care if that's comment deleted. I've done that already. Marcus, just do not get... I've got green screens. I've got 2 green screens. I can do green screens if I want, but I won't be doing them like that. The idea of getting all that fringing and what have you around you, it really irritates me, because to me, it's a poor done job. And sometimes I'll green screen, like I did those ones of Richie Sue's snake the other day, and because they're in front of a blue screen, that was quite tricky to do, to get the blue, because it had all writing all over it as well, so I had to try and remove all the writing as well. But when you do blue screen, you're effectively removing all the blue colour. And I use a thing called Delta Keyer, which is a part of DaVinci Resolve, to remove the background. So it's not an AI type thing. And it does work pretty well if you've got a good background and well lit. But I just couldn't resist the opportunity of putting unicorns behind Rishi Sunak. Because he was talking about some kind of unicorn investment project thing. Tech, or whatever it was. I think my memory's gone civet, as it really has. Apparently, it is, but Marcus didn't know. I didn't know. I thought his live streams, Max's live streams, were on a Thursday. I don't know why I thought that. So it's a Friday, is it? It's probably why I've only got 18 people. I've got a few more people here. Yeah, so there you go. Say the V. I might go live tomorrow as well. I want to start doing... If I was to do a morning live stream, if I can get up, what would be a good morning to do it? Well, that's a question. That's like, you know, it's like a quiz. It's like a quiz question. If I was to do a live stream in the morning, or morning live stream, which morning should I do it? It's a question. A green screen and a green shirt. Oh, no, don't do that. Oh, crikey. You can buy, I don't know if anyone knows this, but you can buy like leotards, green screen type, green leotards. So it's just like your head, or you can stick things on and stuff like bones or whatever. So just, you know, so you disappear and you can like pretend you're a skeleton or whatever. So you can have a bit of fun with it. But yeah, it's they're very useful for certain things. I used to on some of the older videos I've used green screen before, but they didn't go down very well. To be honest, I find them a little bit artificial. I'm not a lover of them. And I don't like it when I see people live streaming it. You know, this isn't green screen. Obviously, it's complete chaos in my office. It's a little mad. Yeah, I managed to put more records up over there now. That I don't know. I just like mad. I can't help it. But I do get had criticisms in the actual Oh, I messed it all up now. I've had there you go, level up. I've had criticisms before in the comments saying that oh yeah, your background is too distracting. I thought, is that what you're looking at? That's what I'm saying. I hope you were, but obviously not. No morning, says Mark's biggest fan. I start around 7 and my eyes don't really function till that. You sound like me. What's that, Wally? What are you doing? He's making funny noises over there. Hmm? He's getting old now. Poor old Wally, look at him. 13 years old. Be 14 soon. No, next year. That'll be next year. I think he'll get another treat now, don't he? Oh, dear me. These dogs. Oh, I want to talk about food in a minute. Food! Apparently we're going to be getting more shortages of foodstuffs on the shelves because of the rain. The bad weather in Spain, even though they've had the hottest, it's been quite a mild winter as well, actually. It's been quite a mild winter here in France, to be fair. We didn't have the frosts like we normally do. No. So I'm a bit worried. I haven't put nothing out in the garden yet, just in case we get a frost. So I'm waiting. It's usually got to wait until the moon's here, you see, the lune en France. And it's you got to wait until the last full moon in May. Or was it the first full moon, man? I can't remember now. Anyway, the risk of frost, you see. He's skinny, though. Who's skinny? No mornings. I start around 7. Phil should use the skeleton. He used to have a gaming channel. I don't know if you know that. He used to have a gaming channel years ago. So he started out before he started into the politics. And it's the same with me, really, that I was just going to be doing shorts on this video, hence all shorts. And I was just going to be like doing shorts type videos on here about anything. And it ended up, after a video, I told you this story really before, after a video I put up regarding James O'Brien, and it did quite well. So I did another one, and it kind of then started taking off. And then, then it died a death. Won't help a viewer fit. Oh, what? Are you talking to me, Mark's biggest fan? It's not the same time as Max's live stream. Okay, here we go. Where are we? Okay, I don't care if the comment's deleted. It's not the same time as Max's live stream. No. I didn't get no notifications go out for some reason. Well, no, I'd already had my allocation for the day, basically. Apparently, but it's apparently, but Marks didn't know. I didn't know. No, I didn't. I thought it was Thursdays. I was gunned and eyes would work. Started out with a cold, but have an infection that refuses to give up. My dear wife has been got problems with infection at the moment. That's E. coli infection actually, of the urinary tract, and apparently it's really difficult to get rid of. It can take a year with antibiotics to get shot of this thing. And she's already on about that 4th or 5th lots of antibiotics and loads of scans and tests and stuff like that. And she's drinking ridiculous amounts of water she's drinking at the moment, and cranberry juice and God knows what else. And she's got cranberry juice tablets or capsules. So yeah, she's having to do that. So she's got a bit of an infection. And first before, because we're on the well, you see here, so I'll try we better test our well, make sure it's got no bacteria in that. But that's absolutely fine. It's actually really, it's good, very good in fact. So we've done 2 tests on that, and for bacteria, but also nitrates and stuff like that as well. Various other stuff. So it's like a whole kit of different anyway. So yeah, read the whole sentence, dude. Yeah, it won't help with Vera figures. Oh, what whole sentence, dude? Oh, I missed something. Mark's the biggest fan. No one subbed to Graham for Labour propaganda. Phil neither, although it's more open about his. Oh, sorry. No one subbed to Graham for Labour propaganda. Because it's pretty much what it is, isn't it? I ain't got a problem with it. Obviously I'm probably going to be voting with Labour. Can't do local elections. I'm not allowed to. Because I'm not doing that. So when it comes to the general election, obviously I'll be voting Labour, and it's a tactical vote. It's not by choice. No, it's because what choice have you got? Where we are, we're in Norfolk. Yeah, I do. Do what I can to get Tories out. So we vote Labour. Obviously, we put voting SNP. I'm not in Scotland. No one subbed for Graham for Labour propaganda. Phil neither, although he is more open about his bias. Oh, I see. Okay. I don't know. I haven't watched any of it, to be honest. Right. It's not the same as Max's live stream. The problem is, I think the problem is when... See, the problem with this channel, and any channel like this, including Max's or Phil's and what have you, your main potential interest is 67 million people, and obviously some people in the EU and other countries and that who might be interested, but obviously those numbers are much lower. But what happens when politics calms down and, say for instance, Labour gets in and it all calms down a bit, and that, what we were talking about earlier, that clickbaitiness of news in general, like News Corp, what they do regarding like the Daily Mail, Express, and all them lot. And the things get you, the shock type articles. There'll be less to talk about, wouldn't there? People would be talking about the monarchy or Harry or Constantine or something. That'd be something else to hate. Oh, they already do hate them already, don't they? I forgot about that. You know, I think they could die a death, these sort of channels, unless you diversify a bit. So I'm thinking to myself, what is the thing that is the next big thing, which is also already a big thing. If you can get the right people at the moment, it's not that popular, I don't think. Apart from amongst tree huggers, and that'd be the green stuff. Because although I'm in, as you know, I'm a bit of an environmentalist in the sense of, do what I can to help with the environment. Be careful about what we buy these days, and we didn't used to be. It used to be terrible. And also be careful about how we get rid of stuff and what we eat and how we grow so much stuff. And also, we don't do unnecessary miles. And we try anyway. But I also understand that have a kind of narrow-minded view with it, and that you to follow a direction that is so hard line. You're not going to bring people on board like that. I was like gluing yourself to roads and stuff like that, although I find it quite funny to watch. And I understand why they're doing it. We should be doing what we can to bring people who wouldn't necessarily be... people who get disrupted in their lives, they're not going to warm to you. And we need to get people warm to the cause. So they also put pressure on the government, because at the moment, what's happened is you're just giving fuel to the fire to those on the hard right. They're giving them ammunition. If it isn't flipping Nigel Farage pointing at people coming in on small boats, or complaining about wind turbines, how the all the lights will go out, the wind stops blowing, and it'll all be dark at night. It generally is, and anyway, because of solar panels, which doesn't work like that. No, because you got start in Wales. There's already natural battery systems in Wales. I can't remember what it's called now. There's a system in Wales that I met upon people. Friends used to work there. She's retired now. But anyway, basically what happens is when electricity is cheap, they use that cheap electricity to operate pumps to pump water from the down below into reservoirs up above. And basically what happens is they open up the gates to these reservoirs, the dams, to go through the turbines at times of peak demand. Well, it makes sense. So what you could do is obviously they could use power from solar, argument's sake, and also wind and stuff like that to operate these pumps to create this natural battery, to power the natural battery system. But there are other places where you can do all that. Obviously, it's huge infrastructure that has to be paid for. But Wales has got it. But instead, we're turning off wind turbines in Scotland because we can't get the power from A to B, which makes very little sense. It really does. You scroll down. Hello, number 3. I hope you're well. Oh, he's very tired, but okay, thanks. There's number 3. Number 3 is a bit of an environmentalist as well, aren't you, mate? Did you see Marina Purgus? Oh, yes, I did. I was going to do a video about that, but that would have got blocked because it's quite long as well. I suppose I took the highlights out of it. I've got to be careful when I'm doing it. I've done a lot of mashups using other people's stuff, and there is fair usage, but fair usage is not as clear cut as people seem to think. You can't just put put your statement in, this is fair usage and stuff, which I do. You've got that in my description. But YouTube, how it works is YouTube does not fight fair use. No. What will happen is someone will make a claim, have something taken down or what have you, and you can argue, well, no, it's fair use, it's fair use. Well, YouTube doesn't care about that. Doesn't make any difference. They do not fight your on your behalf. What will happen is you'll get a strike, a copyright strike, and then what will happen is you have a choice. You just put up with the 3 months, or put yourself at risk for more strikes later on, or you contest it. You say, oh, I don't agree. This is fair use. Blah 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 blah. And by law, YouTube has to say to the person saying they want to make a claim, or not a claim, they want it taken down or for whatever reason. They say you're gonna have to go through the courts. The problem is most of those little YouTubers don't have enough money. People like me, I can't fight people in court, over fair usage. No, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, you put the ball in their court, saying okay, then you can, if you want it down, you can go through the courts, but then they take damages and all that sort of stuff. It can get very, very expensive, and you don't know who you're fighting. If it's just somebody like me, well, then obviously they'll probably say, "Oh, sod it then," because they've got no choice because they can't afford to take one to court. But you don't know that some of the stuff you're using, especially the news types clips and stuff like that, is that there is a risk. It's a big risk because they've got money, haven't they? And they're fighting this sort of stuff all the time. They've got lawyers and stuff like that, Can you imagine little old me taking on Keith Rupert Murdoch? No. So, okay, take the video down, and we'll call that it. And then you get a strike. 3 strikes and you're out, basically. So, it's a bit of a bugger. So, yeah. Just a tad, he says number 3. Mark says, it's so hot here, Zidarago. I know, crikey. I bet all your tomatoes and those peppers are all rotting, aren't they? It's so hot. Oh, okay. Well, the traffic lights here in the rural areas, many of them are solar powered. Yeah, same here, and they function during the night. And you see that they have a battery, turnips. Yeah, there's a lot of solar going up here. I'll tell you, crikey. Now, I did a little video earlier. It wasn't a very popular video. Again, none of my videos are about solar panels because there's been a lot of solar rays put into fields here. I'm actually glad they are. I know a lot of people say otherwise, oh, but the farmers and stuff, farming, taking up the land. I'm sorry, but the farmers are destroying the land. They really are. They've probably got no choice. And, we need food and stuff, So there's a bit of a catch-22 situation, isn't it? But it is damaging the soil. And all the microbes, all the little stuff that lives in there, and what have you, and stuff that makes up the structure. If you keep turning it over, some cases, these farmers get like 3 crops in a year. For some crops, swap the crops over and stuff like that. And that's getting tilled again and again and again and again, and the soil never recovers. But you put solar panels on them, where they never actually turn the soil over, heavy machinery type turn the soil over, the old ploughs and what have you, then, and till them after and that as well. But, no, so you can still crop underneath them to a degree, especially the agro-voltaics, where they have the solar panels high, and you can still go underneath. But it's ideal for cattle and what have you. No, it's better than constantly whacking chemicals over. See, okay, those panels might be on there 20, maybe 30 years. They might be on there longer. Depends on how they start deteriorating. So they do in time. They do deteriorate in time. And then eventually they'll say, okay, then we're either going to upgrade it and I'll remove all the panels and start again because they're more than paid for themselves. And then they'll sell the panels on anyway as used panels, I suppose. Or recycle them, if it's possible. And either get new panels or reinstigate, or go back to farmland with the land. I bet it depends on the buyback tariffs at the time and what have you, see whether or not it'd be worthwhile. But that soil, that land, is going to be completely and utterly regenerated. It's going to be all fresh and lovely. It'll be virgin again. Born again virgin soil. That's what it'll be. So, you know, and obviously you have lots of wildlife and stuff like that. Even though the grass underneath these underneath these panels all be really cut short, it's all the little tiny stuff that matters as well. You know, it's not just the big creatures. It's all the little stuff we need that actually feeds the bigger creatures. Hence, that's why we have like bug houses and stuff like that. Try and encourage bugs. So you shouldn't really disturb certain things. You know, take out hedgerows and stuff like that, just so you make the fields bigger, like the farmers do. Just like the farmers here keep doing. They keep chopping down flipping trees on the boundaries and what have you, and destroying the habitation. It's farmers, I suppose. What they're trying to do is make it easy for themselves to farm larger areas of land, bigger machines, make more money, I suppose. But also, demands upon the farmers are extreme. So there's a bit of a catch-22. So I do understand the plight. I don't see a problem with using material if the source is referenced. It's free advertising. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, number 3. I don't see the problem with it either, but the law's the law. And obviously, YouTube rules are YouTube rules, so they have their rules. And if somebody makes a claim on a video and have it taken down, a takedown notice of that video, what will happen is you'll get a strike, and then you get the option to contest it, which means that then it gets taken back to, the request gets made to the owner of that material, or the stuff that where you might plagiarise it from, what have you. But if references in it, you're not really plagiarising, but you still haven't necessarily had permission. But it's whether or not it could be contested as fair use. So it's a difficult one. There isn't actually any real clear defining lines, so you have to be careful. But if my channel gets taken down, it gets taken down, I suppose. It's not exactly as going anywhere, is it? No, definitely not. Just look at the stats. But there you go, say the V. Anyway, don't forget they'll beat the old like button, so I hope that helps the channel, but I've got my doubts. So, Tony Van Man is a secret Tory. Oh no, is he? Blimey. I haven't watched any of his videos for ages. I've been watching a lot of Chunky Marks recently. It's become my feed a lot recently. I have to admit, some of this stuff's quite funny. It's quite limited information, but it's just what cheeky laugh and effing this and effing that, and it's kind of like now it's loud. So he's got a thing about the monarchy as well at the moment, so he's quite funny. I don't think he's Tory. No. Van Man reckoned the Marina failed to get a point across by talking over Greasy Smug. I don't think so. Because if you didn't talk over him, you wouldn't get a word in edgeways. They don't let you talk. Oh my giddy aunt. I've got to show you this though. I don't know if you've seen this. I'm going to have to show you this. This is hilarious. Not that one. Oh my god, not him. Oh, here we are. There's a geezer that you might know, and his name is Lawrence Fox. Him. Oh my god, this is quite funny. Anyway, what happened was an academic confronted Lawrence Fox. So, tell you what, I'll make it a bit bigger so you can see his glorious face a bit more. What do you reckon? No? Oh, come back. Oh, that's the wrong one. Ooh. All right, here we go. There we go. Anyway, here we...
Also with me is Dr. Bharat Pankania, Senior Clinical Lecturer at University of Exeter Medical School. Good evening. What are your thoughts on what you're hearing, Doctor?
I sometimes wonder why you exist, to be honest with you, because a lot of these things that you spew out just send things that are worrisome to people, not verified, not factual. You just have your own agenda, and that's what I think. You are just spewing out your biased views. That's how I feel about you.
I wasn't asking what you felt. Also with me is Dr. Bharat Pankania, Senior Clinical Lecturer at University of Exeter Medical School. Good evening. What are your thoughts on what you're hearing, Doctor?
I sometimes wonder why you exist, to be honest with you, because a lot of these things that you spew out just send things that are worrisome to people, not verified, not factual. You just have your own agenda, and that's what I think. You are just spewing out your biased views. That's how I feel about you.
I wasn't asking what you felt.
But he was. I have to admit, that did make me tickle when I saw that. That really did. And you see Lawrence Fox getting drawn over the coals. Although I think I saw a cheeky smile from Lawrence Fox just then that I did. What's up, Wally? He's whining again. Yeah, it's just sounded like my grandpa with a tan. I haven't heard your grandpa, Joe, so yeah. Oh dear. But I thought he was honest. Quite good. Yeah, he was honest. Oh, failed pop star, failed actor. He usually plays like Hitler parts and that as well, you know. Nazi parts. Failed politician, failed yeah, he did. Yeah, well. They can't beat him to the post. And they got you, Les. And all around knob cheese. Lovely. Cheery. Lumpy. Ooh. Wild horse pills. What? I think you're Lawrence. Yes. I think he probably is. I can't say that because it's as a naughty word. It's spelled oddly. Yeah. So good to see him being called out instead of the experts trying to toe the diplomatic line. Well, I don't know if you noticed that recently. I have to admit, even on some of these GB News shows, surely they know their point of view before they invite them on. Don't they check their Twitter profile like the government does? Yeah, that's what they're doing now. You get blacklisted, even if you're a specialist, before you get to go into the Whitehall and stuff like that. So people have been blocked, you see, and been told, "Oh no, sorry, you're not coming now." He did after all ask what the man. Fair point. What your views on that? Yeah, good point. I thought that was class. Yeah, I agree. Susan Twitt. Love the facts. Night, number 3. Take care, friend. Hope you're well, mate. Time for bed. Zebedee. Take care, friend. Be good. Oh, and the van man doesn't like the word gammon. Well, it's in the dictionary. But, you know, the racists think it's racist. Just like that Paul Golding guy from... oh, my God. I uploaded a video earlier about him. How he's offering to pay for people to leave the United Kingdom. All us lefties have already gone, so he ain't got to pay for me. Although, what a holiday. Yeah, well... Yeah, so I don't know how they're going to do it. Obviously, get the 90 and 180 day rule because we're going to be coming back in 3 months. It's a bit pointless, isn't it? You know, paying for their flights. I bet he got inundated with that. In his, basically, you know, DM me. He said, "What a stupid thing to say! Don't do that. Don't tell people to DM you. You get all sorts of crap." And then we've got Robert Jenrick being complete in that arsehole. He's well. Using no rhetoric about the cannibalism. Cannibalism. Because the migrants, you see. Now, I uploaded a video this morning about, you might have seen it, where a fisherman was in the channel. He's on the channel every day or every few days or every week. He's in the channel. He fishes, yeah. And days that they've said they had 1,000 people crossing that channel, he was saying there's pretty much been none. They haven't actually got the boats. I mean, what I mean the boats, I mean actually the Border Force hasn't got the boats to be able to monitor. One of the boats is actually in Lowestoft. No one's in Great Yarmouth. So there's only one, maybe 2 Border Force boats. Navy aren't there at the moment either. So how the hell did they manage to get 1,000 odd, 1,200, 1,000 odd refugees? They call them illegals now, you know. Before, you know, I thought you're innocent until you're proven guilty. So, come over, to save these people out of these dinghies. They just don't have the means to do it. They just don't have the boat capacity to be able to get these people ashore. No, they ain't coming as they did last year. That was a bit more of a problem, but this year hasn't been a huge amount coming over. Apparently, according to this fisherman, who fishes that channel, I happen to believe him. He talked the perfect sense. So I had a look online. I looked at the ship locator and stuff like that to see where these boats were, and lo and behold, there's one in the boatyard of one of the boatyards in dry dock. I think it's the HMC Alert. There's two main ones. There's three actually. So there's three of these new boats, border force boats. They're only about 10, 12 months old, I believe. They're not very old. One's already on the hard stand and being having some work done to it for one reason or another. But it sounds a bit like the HMS Prince of Wales, which has been used as a donor ship. Pretty much. Apparently it's quite common practice, actually. But you start pulling stuff off something, the likelihood of it actually ever getting fixed is quite slim. 25 million at least it's going to cost to fix this ship. Was only launched in 2018, 2019, something like that. It wasn't very old. So it's a £3.2 billion ship, and it's just dead in the water. Literally, well, it's out of the water. Well, not out of the water. It's in a dry dock. Having a load of work done to it in the sense of actually removing stuff to put on the other ship, the HMS Queen Elizabeth. It just seems mad. No, I say madness. It's just, why did it happen in the first place? Why does he? How do you build a ship like that and have such colossal problems and poor manufacturing, what have you, engineering problems? Is it because pressure was put on to get them finished within a certain period of time because Boris Johnson needed his little talk, his little latest flag number, little ship, big ships, benefits of Brexit, even though he didn't commission the ships in the first place because they were commissioned back in 2010, 2011. So that'll be another Cameron, you see, in the coalition, probably. And also that generic geezer, he's been meeting up with Meloni. Giorgia Meloni, the Italian Prime Minister. What an awful piece of work she is. She tried to stop those boats landing. Well, she did, landing in Italy. As a result, people were dying on the flipping boat. And they've been on for so long, got no water and stuff like that. It took France to go over there and airlift out the people who are basically dying on this flipping ship through disease and stuff, seriously ill. Anyway, they did that, and in response to Meloni's action, it backfired on her because at the time there was a deal that was about to come into fruition between Italy and France, but also Germany, and some other countries as well. But they were the two main contenders, where they were going to accept a certain amount of the refugees that were coming in via Italy. Well, as a result, because of her actions blocking those boats, it was totally inhumane. Germany and France, they said no, we're not doing that now. Which shot us off on the foot. So now you don't know what to do with these people. So what are you going to have? What death ships? I don't know what you call them. They're quite large. I call them ships, but they're boats, sort of large boats. Well, they are ships, actually, small ships. Because they'll be might be on the Lloyd's Register. My dad's little yacht. So my dad's boat builder, yeah. He had a little yacht. It was 22 feet long. That was a plywood hulled boat, and he called it Gracie S, which is my grandmother's name, his mother's name. And this boat was actually on the Lloyd's Register of ships. It was 22 feet long. Had the Lloyd's number, everything. Yeah, on the boat. Yeah, it's a little coastal racer it was. So it was not a ship. Not much more than a dinghy at 22 feet. And then, what else has been going on? Oh my God, where are we? Oh God, Lawrence, fuck, it's that teacher. Right, now, we're talking about vegetables. Now, I did upload the video earlier. It's probably me going to the supermarket and sort of, there's no peppers. Let's see if there's any peppers. And there's plenty of peppers. Quite pricey in that particular supermarket. But in the Lidl's, actually, they're about 120. No, 99 centimes for the trickle over. This is a free, free peppers in a bag, in a long bag. But in the Leclerc, they're quite pricey. I think they're about $2.19 for free. Bit pricier. That's euros, not pounds, obviously. So I had looked. There's plenty of veg, absolutely plenty of veg. Yet the UK are saying, or Morrison's was restricting the sale of peppers. Waitrose didn't have any on their supermarket shelves, what have you. I don't know if they've recovered now. It's a few days ago now. But it just proves the point that there's obviously an issue. Now they say it's not Brexit, blah 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 blah. But where Brexit comes in is that it's not obviously Brexit's not actually affecting the crop itself outside of the UK. Although it's not helping the fact they got rid of a whole load of greenhouses who were actually growing peppers in the UK. Although they'd be a bit early for that at the moment. But those greenhouses are being taken down. I've obviously told you about that before in Kent, northern Kent. Hectares and hectares of greenhouses, loads of them. So that's going to be probably industrialised or whatever they're going to do with that land now. But it means they're going to be more reliant on imports, and imports are a problem. No country should be importing the majority of their food from abroad. No country should. Because if you're in a situation in time of war or stuff like that, where on earth are you going to get your food from? You're going to be having situations like what happened in India and what have you. Like, was it 15 million people? Was it a whole load of people they got killed overall, if that's right? Starvation. Because of, I think that was because of Winston Churchill and what have you. It's you need food security in the sense that you need to be having enough food grown in your own country, and also you need local food security as well. In the sense of enough people locally, hence people with market gardens or even back gardens, growing a certain amount of food. When I was growing up, we used to barter food across over the fence and stuff. My mum used to anyway. Mum was good at growing tomatoes and beans, French beans and what have you. She's just good at that sort of stuff. And the other neighbour might be good at doing the potatoes, whatever. There's a bit of a swap going on, and that's what we do here actually in France. We had a little French neighbour. She's a bit nutty, but she's anti-vaxxer and stuff like that. And she was talking about fairies. Literally, she's made a fairy house. Oh, God's sake. She's lovely, don't be wrong, in lots of ways, but she's a little bit out there, to say the least. And orbs, something about orbs. I don't know what that's all about. But she's, for instance, she came over today and we gave her a load of shard and what have you in the garden and some fennel and stuff that she wanted to pot on, and, and she helps us out, and she'll, bring bits of whatever she's growing or what have you over. Or her friends out. Her friends are always dropping her food off that it's too much for her, and she brings it over to us. So we've got this it's bartering. It's a two-way street, isn't it? And it's good for communities and stuff like that. And I feel that's very much lost in the UK. And it was happening where we were. We used to live in a village, and it used to be a real community there, and that changed. And not for the better. Not as far as community was concerned. One reason would be because a lot of the kids were growing up and what have you, and the thing that held the people together as a community was, your kids were going to school. To get to know people, the parents of those children that are going to school, so they go to school with your kids, and you exchange kids occasionally, usually both at the same time. Anyway, they go around for sleepovers or tea or stuff like that, or play and all that. So you get to build a community, but eventually these kids, they grow up and they move on themselves. So it's sort of, you end up with like an older generation of people in these communities, and they no longer have that central bond of the school, that thing that brought people together. Then you get new generation people coming in and what have you, and they might not be could be very different from the previous previous lot of children who used to go in the schools, and a lot be like maybe a lot of people from where we were. A lot of people come from London, move to the to South House, what have you, and not make a life there, but just to have used to commute. So half the time they spend most of the time on the road going to London from Norwich, or from North, from Salhouse, Wroxham. And that's it was okay, but it just lost its soul. It really did. It was a lovely community. It really was. A really nice village. And although it wasn't bad when we left, it wasn't why we left. It was a negative change, definitely. And I think it's a problem because people don't look after each other anymore. They don't. Some places do, obviously. I'm punching everyone with the same brush, but it's a bit of a safety net for people. Like what's going on with COVID, but I think that brought a lot of people together, actually, even though it keeps them apart at the same time, unless you're in your bubble. So, people started worrying about people. I haven't heard from them recently about just check they're okay, sort of thing. I think that kind of created that. And then obviously there's the pat bot, bash some pans and pots together and stuff like that. For the frontline workers, so you don't have to pay them any more money. That sort of thing. Although here in France, they all got pay rises, considerable pay rises, amounting to about 170 odd euros a month on top of them, on top of their money, which is, in recognition for their work, the risks that they've been taking, actually, because people were dying, doctors and nurses were dying because they got COVID and what have you. So yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? But obviously I'm being, facetious. So anyway, so more fruit and veg shortages to come as the weather in the UK and Spain hits crops. They say, that's not true. This is in the Guardian, but they're just working off the basis of what they've been told. Yeah, let's move that over. Don't want it as big as that. That's silly. That's silly big. Let's get that. Oh, that's it. Yes. Don't want it as big as that because that's daft. So yeah, record heat in the southern Europe, apparently, and Chile start to British growing season spell more misery for shoppers. Let's just make it a bit smaller. That's it. The shoppers have been warned that they face more fruit and vegetable shortages as temperatures in southern Spain soar to unprecedented levels, while the UK growing season gets off to a late start because of cold, overcast weather. Now, temperatures were expected to reach a new April record of 39 degrees in parts of Andalusia on Friday, amid 102 Fahrenheit, amid a long-lasting drought. And we've got problems here in France as well. Our water levels are too low. Our well, for instance, is lower than it would have been at the same time last year. So a long-lasting drought has also affected the production of vegetables in Spain. That's over the winter. Although there isn't enough water to create any kind of reservoirs, and now it's starting to be a problem now. But not at the time when the growing season, when they were growing this stuff in greenhouses. They do grow over the winter period. They grow peppers in greenhouses in Spain. It's not growing outside. It's just, it does get cold in Spain, and too cold for peppers. They even can have frost and stuff like that as well. At night times it is. So Spain has been in drought since January last year. They're grown in greenhouses. They would have got the water from reservoirs or been pumped or something. It's not as though they were relying on the rain or groundwater. They would have found the water. If they felt that their tomatoes weren't growing or their peppers weren't growing, they would have found the water. They got the water to do it. They'd moved it in from somewhere, probably in a big bowser or something. I understand. I agree. If you're doing potatoes or something, which is in the ground, and you got this kind of everything's so arid. Well, it's pretty arid in a greenhouse anyway. You can only grow peppers outside, really, when in the summer months, so for the summer season. And obviously, then you get a glut and what have you, and the prices come down. But in the winter, it's all done in greenhouses. So very precarious. The wrong one again. Let's go back up here. Oh, back on that one. I clicked the wrong thing. Ooh, don't need that. I'll do it later. So we're warning for more shortages. Scroll up, there you go. So Spain has been dry since January last year, and this is likely to be the hottest, driest April on record. It is already, isn't it? Meanwhile, British growers have also been facing weather challenges, particularly the cold stuff. But we're talking about greenhouse crops. Heated greenhouses and that. You can't grow peppers over the winter months in the greenhouse unless you're heating it. So, yeah. Is it because they can't get the peppers? Because peppers have to be tended. You can't just put them in these greenhouses and expect them just to take care of themselves. They have to be looked after. The old leaves taken off, make sure the water content and the soil is correct, or hydroponic, whatever way they've been grown. And it takes people to monitor every single plant, basically. Not with magnifying glasses, obviously, but make sure everything's tickety-boo. Anyway, fresh produce grown in Spain for the UK consumption includes tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, lettuces, broccoli, and citrus fruits. A lot of this is actually grown also not just... See, this is the other thing, this is the argument here. A lot of this stuff here is actually grown in the Netherlands as well, over the winter months. No, it's like, for instance, we bought some tomatoes and stuff from the local grower here. Not grower, sorry, it's like a garden centre. But also it's a lot of animal food and stuff, feed enough animals and anyway, these obviously, I bought some tomatoes from there and they were large, and I bought some peppers. They were quite big as well. Yeah, they haven't been grown in the ground. They haven't been grown outside. They've been forced on in greenhouses. It's just how it is. So I don't buy what they're saying. If there was any shortages for crop, that'd be through excessive heat, which stunts the crop. It's like, for instance, last year, you might have noticed last year, we had a problem. A lot of our crops were bolting because it was too hot in August, July, August. It didn't give us a chance to get any, spring cabbages out and stuff like that because they already started bolting because it was just too warm. Bolting's basically when they go to seed. So they got so hot, they just basically all they're trying to do is go to seed. They try to put a flower out or whatever. And then they're not really edible because they become woody. They're not very tasty. No. Chewy. Tastes like cooking. A bit like Teresa Kofi. So anyway, Sainsbury's has warned of further shortages this week, and its chief executive Simon Roberts said some of the problems with fresh produce, such as peppers and eggs, remain. We have still got a problem here in France with eggs. Saying that, we haven't got shortages. Prices are high, so it's gone up, but it's like I've told you before. We were paying about 110, and now we went up to about 210, and then it's gone back down again to about 170 for 10 eggs. That's the cheapest egg. It's the cheapest eggs you can get. So Waitrose, which is owned by John Lewis Partnership, said we're working hard with our suppliers to get our blah 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 blah. Yeah, working hard with the suppliers. It's just the same old rhetoric. I'm sure they got a load of copy and paste articles that they chuck this stuff out. Maybe alter a couple of words like peppers. Well, the British Retail Consortium has said difficult weather conditions in the south of Europe disrupted the harvest for some fruit and vegetables, including peppers. Over the winter, they're grown in greenhouses. I'm pretty certain of it. I did some research on that before I did a video about it the other day. And it's are they grown in greenhouses? And apparently they are. I'm sure, in summer months they're probably grown outside. But over the winter period, it's not going to be warm enough, is it? So Morrison's limited customers to 2 packs of red peppers earlier this week, although it was lifted the restrictions now, so they obviously sorted their problems out. This articles today. So the supermarket shelves had big gaps in February, and when retailers, including Tesco, Aldi, Asda, I do apologise, and Morrison's rationed certain products such as tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. And shortages push prices of fresh fruit and vegetables sharply higher. We've had a similar problem here. And many UK salad crop producers delayed planting fruit, and so that is a problem. In the UK, so the UK salad crop producers, cucumber growers and what have you, well, they held off, and it's all greenhouse grown. So, and obviously, reduction of greenhouses is not going to help either, is it? So there's no food security in the UK. And what gets me is they say, we only import 30% of our food. That's not true. They don't know for the fact that a lot of the food that's imported in the UK is not on that list because it ends up in prepackaged food because it's going to the manufacturers into curries or whatever else I can make them into, I don't know, or packaged into multi-veggies or something, I don't know, some multi-veg frozen packs or whatever. But they've been imported. A lot of them, majority of them have already been imported. It's just pre-packaged in the UK, and then they become a British product and don't go on that list. So it's a lie, really. It's just another lie. Deceptive. That's what it is. Very deceptive. And those who did plant the crops, including cucumbers, peppers, and tomatoes, and aubergines, eggplant, waited until late March. Let's do it. Obviously, energy costs and what have you. Now, some greenhouse growers, majority of those ones who shutting up shop, wasn't just because of Brexit, obviously. It's because energy prices. They couldn't afford to heat them. I did a video about this was last year, a greenhouse grower who basically said we're shutting our doors because our energy bills, basically heating with gas for the greenhouses. And the bills were, I think it was 900,000 a year normally, and it went up to something crazy, like 17 millions. Huge amount of money. It was a crazy amount of money. I think 5 million or something, some crazy amount of money. And it just wasn't enough. It wasn't no profit in what he's doing, so he's got losing money. So they shut the doors on the greenhouses, and also those particular greenhouses are being planning permission to be taken down. Whether they get any crops this year, I don't know. Some greenhouse growers, they delayed their crops, but they'll carry on. They'll carry on growing, but for the moment, until the greenhouses are gone. Then when does it leave food security? Not in a very good place, I don't think. So the association's members, the consortium that is, usually produce about 3/4 of the UK's domestic cucumbers. So it's 80 million tonnes. That's a lot of cucumbers. That's a lot of water. Of UK's domestic cucumbers, 80 million tonnes. Aubergines. Really? 100 million tonnes of aubergines. Do people eat that many aubergines? A lot of people don't like them. Because unless you know how to cook, they end up all like rubbery, horrible. Got to salt them, you see. 10% of UK grown tomatoes. So not many tomatoes, but you're loads of aubergines. Is it because of the value of the crop, maybe? You import a hell of a lot of tomatoes from France and also from Netherlands and various other places. Obviously Morocco, in Spain. An industry source says that the cold spring has been challenging for those who only grow crops outside, meaning that they have they don't grow they can't grow these crops outside in the winter months. Even in Spain, they won't do anything. The risk of frost, they're not hardy. The industry source says that the cold spring had been challenging for those who had only grown crops outside, meaning that they had to delay putting some young plants in the ground, as well as insulating the plants to try and speed up the growth. And I obviously got National Farmers Union. I don't know why I bother with that, because what was that? Minette Batters from Farmers Union. Although she's been fighting it recently, but she didn't do enough, during the Brexit debate to actually debunk the misinformation that was out there. She didn't say anything, pretty much. So there's likely to be more food shortages, but I think we already know that, don't we? To be honest, it's pretty obvious. It's just what happens, isn't it? It's what happens when you create these supply chain shocks. Because of the cost of fertilizer, the cost of energy, and the grain, actually, just the seed to plant this stuff, it's all gone up. It's all more expensive. Even here in France, everything is just more expensive. But it's food inflation for you as well, isn't it? We're here. We got little words in a minute. We're suffering food inflation, just like in the UK. Similar amount actually, although in overall inflation's lower. So, anyway, let's check this chat. I'm having a look at the chat now, just so you know. Don't forget to beep the old like button. There we go. I know Mark's his biggest fan, and they. Oh, what was he saying? $P. Oh, got a conversation going on here. Joe. My hometown produces mushrooms, peppers and other vegetables to be canned and sold by a Spanish-Portuguese company. During the summer, it hits 40 plus, and the winter, the soil freezes. Even in Morocco and what have you, the winter's going to be cold. But nighttime temperatures. So, they grow in greenhouses over the winter period. They might not do in the summer months, because obviously it'd be a bit silly. But a lot of these greenhouses, they lift the sides up. they just roll the sides up. So they'll sears, they'll polytunnels. They just open them up so they ventilate. So they've got the rain protected from any potential rain, if they get any, that is. And when, obviously, in Spain, Morocco, if they do get any rain, it'll be heavy. But they're not getting any at the moment. And we've got similar problems here. Our water levels here are too low. So my hometown produces mushrooms, peppers, and other vegetables to be canned. Mushrooms as well. I used to grow mushrooms. I used to grow mushrooms. I used to grow them in logs and stuff like that, but also in like the mycelium. Makes me think of Avatar with the Earth Tree and stuff. Anyway, mycelium, and it's you have to put it, you use rotted manure and stuff, and and grow them in straw, and yeah, it's good. They grow well in rotting material. Oh, Vipek says, Allshorts, yes, people used to exchange their surplus crops with each other and support their elders as a matter of pride in their community. Sadly, that close-knit feeling is all but gone now. It's such a shame. And it's even when my son lives, we bought a house, what have you. There's no community there. I don't think there is anyway. He hasn't even spoken. One of his neighbours, he hasn't even spoken to. It's bizarre. I don't understand how. He's been there 5 years now, and he hasn't spoken to his neighbour. I don't understand. But his neighbour hasn't spoken to him either. So it's like, why? It's bizarre. It's odd. His other neighbour's okay, apparently, but so I think it's quite sad, really, because you could drop dead if you live on your own. You're gonna drop dead. No one will have a freaking clue. Or flies and stuff buzzing around you. Be horrible, wouldn't it? As you wouldn't know. If you drop down dead. Well, my hometown produces mushroom. I've done it already, sorry. Exactly, Joe. Why should the EU share goods with a plague island that doesn't want anything to do with the EU? Otherwise, I know. That's a valid point, actually. Because our government and many people, especially the right-wing nutters out there, they just want to constantly bash the EU, or those who care about social awareness, such as woke, and which has been weaponised by the right. But they know, don't they? The right, they know what riles people up. It's like they've been advised, if you want to win the next general election, you need to create some hate. Propagate the hate, and you might have a chance at winning the next general election. Well, they've pretty much done that with Brexit, haven't they? All those racists, they came out from underneath their stones. Put that cross in the wrong box that they did. Flipping kippers.
Kipper.
That's what they are. Hi, boss. No longer does the UK divert to Germany and Scandinavia. Portuguese, Spanish company. Hi, boss. No longer. Okay. He does. I know. No reason all people with big hauling companies are having to pay extra costs. That's a valid point. And also, they ain't got the cabotage as they once did. Hang on. I think they slackened up in the UK on cabotage, but not in the EU, I believe. Where cabotage is basically how many times you can pick a load up. Say, for instance, you've got a load coming from the EU and you want to come to the United Kingdom. Well, the EU drivers are used to do more than one job. So they're already in the UK. And they might do a couple of other drop-offs, what have you, pick-ups and drop-offs. Well, British lorry drivers weren't very happy about that, and needless to say, they kicked off, and probably why a lot of them voted for Brexit. And now they have to sit in queues. That'll teach them. And, well, I know a couple, actually, to be fair, my friend Keith, I went to Spain on a motorbike with, and not on the same bike, they had their own bikes. And, his son and what have you, or sons, they voted for Brexit. Because they were lorry drivers. Well, actually, one was lorry driver. The other one's actually SAS. Can't say who he is. Not allowed. Well, we weren't supposed to know that he's in SAS, but we know now. We've been told. Anyway, so I know Mark's his biggest fan, and there are even decent people in England, but unfortunately, the loud minority manages to paint a different picture. Yeah, that's right. Even some people on the right aren't that bad. They've got some strange ideas, but aren't necessarily nasty people. But it's always the nasty people, like you say, the ones who shout the loudest and put the point across that drags everybody else down. Like I say, put people on cross in the wrong box and what have you, like the Paul Goldings out there of Britain First, that fascist, neo-Nazi party. They'll say different, but that's what they are. But don't worry, he's going to buy you a ticket if you want to leave the UK, because he's had enough. He's got cheek to call us bigots now. That's what he's doing. He's calling us bigots. Us on the left, apparently, are bigots. It was like he's found a new word in his, in his dictionary, if he's got one. Oh, I use that. Bigots. They're big. Oh, I understand what it means now. Oh, bigots. They're all bigots. Because they're horrible towards the right. They're bigots now. And racist and bigots, he goes. What the hell? Oh, these people, eh? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more. Says Larry the Cat. Hello, Sir Larry the Cat. Magic mushrooms. Oh. Wow. Bickling Hall. You get your magic mushrooms from Bickling Hall if you want. If you're Norfolk. Loads grow there. Yeah. I wouldn't know. Because I can honestly say I've never tried them. No, I just know they're there. Oh, Lefty Boater. We've got a Lefty Boater. Hello, Lefty Boater. I hope you're well. I can't... Oh, there he is. Oh, hello, he goes. Oh, hello. So, loud minority, but they can shape the picture. You constantly hear how evil the EU is. Oh, the evil EU. Undemocratic. What a load of rubbish that was. Doesn't make any sense. Wasn't Nigel Farage voted in? Wasn't then they nominate people? The people that we voted in nominate. Oh, okay. Oh, anyway, so my hometown has woods and natural mushrooms in the countryside. Same here where we are, and we get and also in the fields. We get the bullets, seps. I try and keep the safe ones because some of them are a bit dangerous. Death caps and stuff like that. Yeah, it's dead giveaway. The name Death Cap. Yeah, they're quite abundant here, and you have to be really careful not to pick them up thinking they're an edible mushroom because they're edible, but you'll die potentially. Very, very dangerous. And quite often get the old field mushrooms. They're garrison and just a big old plates they grow up to, massive great thing. Oh, little nice sort of formed things, or depending on the weather. They could be absolutely huge. We just don't get big and what have you, and just pick them. And as long as it's not got such a manky, because they start going how to put it, a bit bruised, and the snails start not snails, the slugs start chomping at them, and they look right on mess. But seps are nice. They're good as well. They're obvious. They're obvious mushrooms, so they're quite easy to, to safely pick them. So just stick to limited varieties, ones that you know. And don't try and be too clever, because you probably come a cropper. My friends, the family runs a mushroom growing company. Oh, cool. And they are shipping containers for the purpose of... Oh, yeah, I've seen that done before. For growing the tomatoes, they hang them in like these vertical sacks and stuff. Or you can in beds with straw. Because they grow in fairly rotting material. So my family runs a mushroom growing company. And they use shipping containers for the process. My God, it's 2 hours, 23 minutes I've been going for. And as you can probably tell, I am shattered. My eyes look really tired. So I'm going to probably, and I'm going to have to be careful of myself from now on, Now I know what my flipping thyroid is buggered. That was my meds. I'm on double meds now for oxine. Have I got any to show you? Where is it? No, that's a worm tablet. It's not for me. Well, anyway. Paroxine. Should be in there, that's not. No, that's prednisolone. Right, anyway, I got an underactive thyroid. That's probably why I struggle losing weight. Magic mushrooms. Oh, do us a trick. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So, this is sadly so. Yep, you're right. It is. And the communities have broken down, haven't they? They have broken down. And we become very... It's like we're frightened of everybody and become very insular in ourselves. Even me here, I suppose I do speak to you guys and gals and I'll, and communicate that way, which is a bit odd really, isn't it? And it's, but I don't go out much. Okay, we had our French friends around earlier, what have you, and Violette come around as well, and but we don't venture out. No, I'm too busy to be honest. I'm always busy. Usually making videos for this channel, which I haven't even done a morning video yet. Oh dear, I forgot. So I've been trying to do a morning video every day, you see, and I forgot my Saturday morning video. I have to compensate. Bugger, because I'm not going to get one done now. Not now. What's time? It's 12 o'clock. So yeah, I've been working. I do work quite hard at this channel, but I don't seem to be getting anywhere, so it's a bit frustrating. But there you go. Say the V. Yeah, I got, well, I'd say, what was it, 78 subscribers in a month. That's nothing. That's tiny, right? I get more than that on my woodworking channel. And I haven't actually been putting enough up on there either. So, although that is going to change. Oh, it's people used to exchange the surplus crops. Okay, I think I'm going around in circles here. They do it more than one. Sorry, Vipec. Okay, Joe, my friend's family runs a mushroom growing company, and they use shipping containers for the process, and it's fascinating. I often visit, amazing how they grow in the dark like rhubarb. Yeah, well, you grow rhubarb and don't make it sweeter. And also, you know, you can force over the winter months. You can force your rhubarb. You put a bucket, stick a hole in your bucket, and stick it over the top of your rhubarb, and you can force the rhubarb so you can get some early shoots of rhubarb. If you're that desperate for your rhubarb, that is. But I tell you what, it's flipping gorgeous with rhubarb. And we dry it. Oh my god, it's like those sour sweets. I mean, it's nuts. It's just. I mean, you know when you got like, that licorice stuff, licorice root, and you chew it, what have you. But it's a bit like that, but a bit obviously softer, and you can eat the whole thing quite easily. Because other things like eating a stick, licorice root. But it's the flavour is just, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It's just like literally that's sour sweet. So we dry it. We dry our rhubarb. So you stick it in the dryer or use the sun box, what have you, and dry it. So I moved some rhubarb, actually moved some because so I get through the lawnmower because it starts to take over with the ride on. So and there are some in the field where they let wood logs. That's what we do. Wood logs. Oh, crikey, what ones are they? The one that I forgot what they're called now. Oh, come to me a minute. Not honey fungus. That kills oak trees. Oh, crikey, what are they? Oh, I can't recall that. Oh, that comes to me in a minute, I'm sure. And some in the field and the woods, yeah. So what you do is, you can buy kits, you see, with like the ones with the logs. You can buy almost like a little dowels, like pellets. You have an old log, and you drill it, and you put these pellets, like little wooden dowels, into the log, and it's got the mycelium or the spores in these pegs that you're putting into the log. And as the log rots down, silver birch, bits of chestnut, or any old tree, where I think probably do the job. And as it rots down in the ground, and you get all the wood lice and what have you, and chewing it and eating it, because wood lice don't eat wood; they eat the rotting material, and they grow out of that. Basically, just all the mycelium, and it just takes over the log, and you grow all these lovely. Which I can't think of the name of them now. I've done them several times before, but I haven't done them recently. I might start doing mushrooms again. They do it more than one way, but blah 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 blah. And the rooms no contains. I think that's because they repurpose a Mont Alacantano. Oh, sorry, where it is. Sorry. Vipec. And there are some in the fields where logs die. I'm going over myself again. Basically, they use the old cattle pens for large scale production, and some greenhouses to grow mushrooms. You have to keep the humidity up, though, wouldn't you, in the greenhouse to grow the mushrooms? They have to keep them really humid. So anyway, the industry source says that the cold spring has been very challenging for those who only grow crops outside, but that's not why we haven't got peppers. No, pretty much nothing's going to grow over the winter months. Not to have a serviceable crop. You'll get some growth over a long period of time. Like for instance, if you're, argument's sake, you can plant your your broad beans in sort of November the previous year if you want, or wait until as long as it's free drain and soil. A lot of people do that. They get an earlier crop of broad beans or bigger plants. And it's the same with other crops as well. You can do that with, and grow. You've got spring cabbage, what have you. That's been sown the previous year over the winter. But you have to protect them somewhat. You can't just stick them outside and could do nothing. What happens? The ground will be so wet it'll just rot. So my preference would be that people started growing more food. But we've got to a point now where all we're doing is we're building houses that have no gardens and no ability to grow food. I think we should be building houses upwards, to be fair, and I don't mean some of the nasty old places they built in the past. They don't have to be like that. But with maybe allotments attached and stuff so people can grow food. Because a lot of the allotments now in the UK or Norfolk, I know, have been sold off for development, for housing. And to be fair, I don't understand why. Because, I do understand why, because it's about money, innit? But what I mean is that it wasn't as though the allotments were not used. They were all spotless. Well, the occasional plot's a bit overgrown. But they're busy. And my daughter Yasmin, my sister signed up for an allotment. 17-year waiting list. 17 years. So that was never going to happen. No. But Hoothurley Whittenstall, I don't know if it's still going. I need to look into it, actually. He started a program where there's a website, basically, and people with land can say, okay, then I've got this amount of land, and I'll allow people to come and, turn a bit of soil over and plant stuff on this land, provided I have a little bit as well. And that's basically the agreement. And it's, sort of a mutual benefit. And I don't know if it really took off. It was being utilised. It might still be. If it is, it's probably still being utilised. But what a great idea for those who haven't got any land, maybe want to grow. The problem is, if your garden's not attached to your home, you've actually got to really designate. You've got to set aside time to go to the allotment or to this piece of land for which you're allowed to plant in. And I think that's a problem, because lots of people don't have any disposable time. When you've got two parents working with families and what have you, and you've got no time for your kids doing with them, let alone flip and go and do your allotments. No wonder people are buying food from the supermarkets, not growing anything. You can't blame them. But there's plenty of people out there who do have gardens, and then what they're doing is they're putting it down to AstroTurf. And I had to kind of convince my daughter not to go that route. She allows her garden to get a bit wild, and they're not short of money, but it's just they want to put AstroTurf down. And now they're talking about slabbing the whole lot. They've got kids, it's horrible for kids having concrete everywhere. And, oh, God's sake, you've got ants. Ants everywhere. It's creating habitat for the kind of things you don't necessarily want. So we ants and honeydew everywhere. So it's going to be awful. So it's a daft idea. And there is talk in government, actually, at the moment, probably in DEFRA, about rewarding households in the UK who have green gardens. They'll probably end up with, what end up happening, there'll be a tax, they'll add a tax to those who haven't got green gardens. That's probably what will happen. Those who haven't, greenified their gardens. Because you got water runoff, and the problem with water runoff, you're not allowing the water to soak into the ground and regenerate the soil and end up back into the water table. Instead, it's all that goes water runoff, which then goes into pipes and end up in some reservoir somewhere, which overflows into the rivers and then out to sea. So it's not exactly a win-win situation, is it? So no, it's silly. We need to, I don't want to harp on about the olden days and stuff like that, but some of the old methods are the best methods, and people used to live off land, but in harmony. But now we just want to destroy it. Some of it's through necessity, personal necessity, in the sense that we need, we can't seem to produce enough food. But we could if we did it more locally, like local electricity production and stuff like that. We need to do more locally. It sounds insular, and I suppose it is in a way. But the more we ship from like CPTPP and Trans-Pacific and what have you, and various other places from miles and miles away, that's why obviously the EU was quite good, because it's only like 22 miles across the channel. It's not, but we shouldn't be buying, crops that we can grow in the UK or in the EU. We should be just eating those. But no, we want to ship stuff from the Pacific instead. No. God's sake. There's no sense in it. It's all about money. It's all it is. It's all about money. So anyway, I'm going to say good night because I'm absolutely shattered. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for the super chats. That is, it's very much appreciated. But you can probably tell by my eyes, I am struggling to stay awake. And now that I know what's wrong with me, it's my thyroid. It's got quite bad, and that my horsey voice isn't because I keep talking. No, it's because of the thyroid. I didn't realise. No, according to the doctor and my results, which were quite bad, so I'm having to take a lot of hormones. So I'm going to get hairy nibbles. Okay. Too late for that. Hairy nipples. Oh. Crikey. And moobs, that's what you get. You get moobs. That's it. You end up with Nick Ferrari. I'm quite lucky. I don't have moobs, like little like male boobies, man boobies, boobs. No, I don't have that. Luckily. I'm fat, but that's about it. It's just like all over. Fat. Pert titties. I don't have pert titties. No. Not yet. Maybe one day. I have to work on that. Producing locally almost always creates tradable excess. No, exactly. You can exchange stuff. You can help each other out, can't you? Or you take a barter. It don't have to be bartering with food, does it? With other stuff. Somebody might have some wood that you want. I don't know. Argument's sake, and you can swap. Oh, can I have a sack of potatoes? Oh, I'll have a couple of 2x4 over here. There you go. It's a very local thing. A way of life here with the French people, especially the older generation of French people, and some of them are lovely. A lot of them are a bit right wing. A lot of them are. Although I haven't met anyone who's been offensive towards myself yet, apart from my farmer who's a little bit arrogant. But on the whole, everyone's been lovely. And but you walk or drive down the road, what have you. You see, they always have little square plots that they get rotivated early in the year. So maybe some friend or family, what have you, goes around and with a tray and what have you, and with a rotavator on the back, and then they go and rotivate the plot for them, and the little old couple with their funny little blue pinnies on, and their space forks and hose. Usually a matlock, very popular as a matlock, which is literally just like a pickaxe handle, but with like just an end on it, just a bent sort of end like that on it. So, and that's they do a lot of furrows and hoeing and what have you. Like not let's call it a hoe, but we'd call it a matlock. But it's a great little tool actually. I've got a couple, and that's what the French use. And quite often, the French and Italians would use one of those, and like a club, like a wooden club, a bit like what was it, Captain Caveman club. So one to bash the sods, and the other one to see you're digging with the hoe, because all this over digging where we talk like double dig and stuff like that just destroys the soil. You only need to do the surface. The rest of it you should leave fairly compact. If the soil's good and then full of stones and stuff, so you end up with like 10-legged carrots, which you don't really necessarily want. Obviously bent bananas or straight bananas. I don't know. Well, obviously that's not here, is it? But yeah. So good night, Marcus, and thanks for the stream, and good night all. Please remember to hit like and subscribe. Yeah, thanks a lot. It makes up for modern and what have you. And it's good to see faces again. That is, well, sort of faces. It's funny. I know the faces of some of these people on here, but that's about as far as I can go. Anyway, thanks for joining us. I am going to click off now because I am about to fall asleep while I'm talking. I better have my eyes shut. Maybe. Oh, maybe not. I don't really know. So. Oh, what can I leave you? Oh, I don't know what can I leave you. Can I leave you something? Oh, you probably see my hippos. A little blighters as well, then. And then my woodpecker. So we've tracked all sorts of birds. I haven't got any videos of our owls yet. We've got the little owls. We made the owl box from the other day. So it's, we've got the GoFundMe down below. Oh, you probably know that already for the rewilding. I just had my dog outside. It's Pandora. Vipec, are we still doing the live stream as usual tomorrow? Take care. Yeah, on to the missus. Yeah. On Sunday, it's Friday day. Sundays I do my live stream. I'm gonna probably go live tomorrow as well. Probably. I want to do a morning stream one day, but I'm not sure what day I should do it on. So, on top of everything else, because yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I might go live tomorrow as well, but hopefully I'll make sure that I don't overdo the videos tomorrow, so I can get a notification out. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I do appreciate you all for joining us. I do, honest.
Also with me is.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave you with that again, because that's just hilarious. Let's make it bigger for you. There you go. Oh, look at that horrible piece of work. Oh, it's all pixelated. Yeah, it's called Pixely. It's like a pixie, pixelixy. And thanks to the spanners. Oh, okay. Back there you go.
Also with me is Dr. Bharat Pankania, Senior Clinical Lecturer at University of Exeter Medical School. Good evening. What are your thoughts on what you're hearing, Doctor?
I sometimes wonder why you exist, to be honest with you, because a lot of these things that you spew out just send things that are worrisome to people, not verified, not factual. You just have your own agenda, and that's what I think. You are just spewing out your biased views. That's how I feel about you.
I wasn't asking what you felt. Also with me is Dr. Bharat Pankania, Senior Clinical Lecturer at University of Exeter Medical School. Good evening. What are your thoughts on what you're hearing, Doctor?
I sometimes wonder why you exist, to be honest with you, because a lot of these things that you spew out just send things that are worrisome to people, not verified, not factual. You just have your own agenda, and that's what I think. You are just spewing out your biased views. That's how I feel about you.
I wasn't asking what you felt. Also with me is Dr. Bharat Pankania, Senior Clinical Lecturer at University of Exeter Medical School. Good evening. What are your thoughts on what you're hearing, Doctor?
I sometimes wonder